good, my guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I would say good morning, but depending on where you guys are at, it ain't morning time. It's afternoon or some shit like that where you guys is at. Um, yeah, man. Once everybody come in, they'll come in. But I mean, I don't I don't even really know what to say. I mean, what 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 did you what did you think was gonna happen? What? Yes, the gematria had the patch. We're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that too. And that's the reason why you have to be careful with the whole gematria shit. Especially if you can also argue that there's a case for both. Like I said, not everybody's not going to be 1,000% correct in everything. So it's not really about you know me bashing people that. But the whole thing is that's the reason why I say be careful with gematria. You have to be careful with gematria because it was set for the Patriots to win the game. Like every gematria I saw had the Patriots winning the game, right? Yo, one in the chat if you guys can hear me. I just want to make sure. I mean, I see it on my end, but I have this. I could follow it. I could track it myself too. But I just have this thing where I just gotta 1 1 1 1. All my guys is like one. Bfyre, shut the hell up and talk. We get it. We hear you. Um, I mean, where should I start? Right? Shout out to my guys in the chat first and foremost. You already know that. They got here first. Everybody else that's gonna watch the playback. You watch the playback. Anybody else that's gonna jump in, jump in. I had a great night. I'm twisted, but I'm on track, y'all. I'm on track. I'm twisted. I had a great, great, great night. Um, I feel good. Number 14 was in the belly. As you know, I've been saying that, telling people about the number 14 for over a year. And sure enough, what did we get? Sam Darnold actually won the Super Bowl. Now, I don't like, sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back with certain shit. I don't want to, you guys do know, like, I wanted the last 3 weeks, I was saying I want to see the Rams win because I always keep the Rams there. You guys know that. Like that's a default team I always keep there. But the team I was rocking with this year, shit, not only did they have the number one seed, not only did they win the NFC, right? They won the Super Bowl. And they won. Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold. Now, the thing about this is I'm looking on Twitter. Okay, I'm gonna start with the under. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about the under. So shout out to everybody who got a premium pick from me. A couple of people actually gifted me. Let's say that. I don't like to say paid me. They gifted me something nice for the Super Bowl pick, right? Offline. And I told them, don't worry about it. As far as the pick, Seattle and the under. Parlays is dangerous, but don't worry about it. Seattle will win the game and take the under. That's going to hit. Don't think too hard. You don't have to think so hard. Seattle and the under, that's what's going to happen. It's going to hit. I thought it was going to land on 44 points exactly. I remember that, right? I said that. It was close. It ended up on 42. But there goes the number 4 being involved. It was 2 fours, 42, right? 4 times 2, 8. Wow. That was a good one. That was a good one. If you want to switch around, 24, 42, so yeah, that's that Kobe shit, right? If you turn it around, right? So that was a good thing about that. Let me see what you guys are talking about. But Yeah, I feel good. Shout out to everybody that actually hit me up privately and said, "Can I, pay for this, pay for this pick?" It wasn't one of the picks that I have online that I sell. Right, this was a premium one, and you guys made some money. Right, I feel good. That's what we did. That's what's up. Everybody else that's hating, boo hoo. I mean, first and foremost, let me just say this. What made you people think that the Patriots was actually going to win the Super Bowl? Now I said this game can go either way, right? But like when you realistically think about everything we talk about, when you think about everything we talk about, we speak about, what made you think that the Patriots was actually going to actually win the game? No, all jokes aside, like what made you think the Patriots was going to win? Was it because of the whole 250 shit, right? The reason why I didn't speak on the whole 250 shit too much was because you guys got to realize, right? Just because something's revolved around America, that does not mean that that team is going to win all the time. Is it safe to say that America's not in a good place right now, right? So America's not in a good place right now. So it's nothing to actually celebrate. America's actually doing bad as a country. So the Patriots losing is a great representation of how America is. It's doing bad right now. You guys got to stop falling for that. The Eagles won last year. Trump comes in around the time the Eagles won. The Eagles, what? They represent what? America. The ball. Come on, people. So what, you think the Patriots is going to win? I mean, we've seen that before. We've seen Patriots win and then Eagles win. We saw that. We saw that in 2017 and 18. But I don't know why people thought that that was going to happen again. I think sometimes you think too, once again, it goes to what I say. You think in a moment too much. And when people think in a moment so much, this is what usually happens. There was no chance that I thought the Patriots was going to win. Offline, everything I hit was on. I hit everything basically as far as what I picked, except for my funny pick when I had the whole Drew Lock shit. But that was personal. That wasn't anything that I was telling you guys to do. That was something I was hoping to see. But when I saw how the game was in the first quarter, I said, I don't know. There ain't gonna be no backup quarterbacks playing this game. This is gonna be a straight. This game is gonna. This is what I said. It's looking like Rams and Patriots Super Bowl 53 vibes. Like that was the vibe that I was getting. They let the Patriots get on board and score 13 points. You want to know what's so funny too? Real quick. I kept seeing the number 13 involved with the Patriots all week long. All week long. So we do know the number 4. The number 4 is going to be involved some way, somehow. You add the 1 and the 3, you get the 4. But I just kept seeing 13 a lot. Right? 13. Sure enough, the Patriots ended up scoring 13 points. Just like when they scored 13 points when they beat the Rams, but they were stuck on 13. Couldn't get no more. You get what I'm saying? Now, the Seattle, this is the reason why Super Bowl 53 was so interesting to me when I was watching this game, because it had a lot to do with each other. When I get home, right, I'm gonna do a live and break that down. But just shortly, like, it was 13 points that the Patriots scored to win Super Bowl 53, right? Which, if you times the 3 and the 5, you get 15. The same year, the face of the league, Patrick Mahomes, goes down, right? So they scored 13 points. Number 2, my second point was 3 points was what the Rams scored, and it took 26 more points to actually win that game for a total of 29. And that was the same pick. That was the picture when you saw Saquon Barkley right there in the front. With all the players, 26 more points from the losing team gives you 29 from Super Bowl 53. And look what happened. The Seattle Seahawks actually beat the New England Patriots. It's funny. I have a whole breakdown already on how, like, Super Bowl 53 and Super Bowl 60, 7 years apart, 7 Super Bowls apart, like how they was involved with each other. That's why I said it gives me that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl, this game was a Super Bowl 53, just a little bit. Well, kind of a lot, but a little bit for me, right? So I just want to, I just want people to know that, right? Um, yeah, let's see. I got a couple of things talk about. So yeah, Seahawks under without a fucking doubt. We got it. So shout out to everybody that believed in me on that shit. And this was the one. This was one I told people. I said, yo, go hard on it. Go hard on it. So if you cast in, shout out to you. Like, we had a great football year as far as that. Number 14's in the belly, like I keep telling people. But motherfuckers don't want to listen to me though. They don't want to listen to me, right? Let me see. Shout out to my chat. And that we're gonna get to the what's going on in the chat. Let me see. Oh, Kenneth Walker. So we already know the whole Kenneth Walker storyline. What do I mean by that? So Super Bowl 49, which was 4 years apart from 53, right? But anyway, going back to Super Bowl 49, what was supposed to happen? Super Bowl 49. They were supposed to hand it off. Russell Wilson was supposed to hand it off to who? Beast Mode, right? And Beast Mode was supposed to run in that damn end zone, right? Be the hero, and they end up winning the game. And most likely, he would have got what? He would have got MVP, right? So that's what the story was supposed to be, right? That's all we kept hearing, right? Shout out to everybody that got the Kenneth Walker MVP. Good call, right? So that's what the story was supposed to be, right? What did we get last night? Even though he wasn't going in the end zone a million times, right? But he kept running the ball. They had him run the ball so much to the point where you couldn't deny him of getting the MVP. I'm not gonna lie. When the first quarter was happening, when I was sitting next to this Seattle fan, right? This old guy, and he was talking to me. He's from Seattle, and he was talking to me here and there about certain things. And I told him, I said, listen here. He's going to get MVP. Why do you think that? It ain't going to be Sam Darnold? Nah, Sam Darnold's not going to get MVP. I already knew Sam Darnold wasn't getting MVP, whether he had got hurt or whether he played the game. There was no chance in hell he was getting it. That's why you guys never heard me say anything about Sam Darnold getting the MVP. It's not going to happen. It don't work that way, right? Say, Kenneth Walker going to get MVP. He said, why? I said, look how many times they giving him the ball. Look how many times they giving him that ball. He keeps running that ball. Off the first quarter, I knew he was going to get the MVP. And I said, that's going to be their storyline. From where they went wrong on Super Bowl 49 is where they quote unquote get it right here. Kenneth Walker. All right, Beast Mode was supposed to get MVP. Super Bowl 49. Had they won. Right? But if that game wasn't scripted to where Malcolm Butler got the interception, your man Russell Wilson gets it in the end zone, right? He's the hero. Super Bowl MVP. Seahawks go back to back. They beat the Broncos, beat the Patriots, right? That doesn't happen. So now let's fix that right. Let's right that wrong. I'm sorry. What the fuck am I talking about? We're gonna right that wrong. You guys get what I'm saying? Right? We stick with football. We stick with football right now. He's gonna right that wrong. Sure enough, look what happened. Now, so anybody that got Kenneth Walker, shout out to you. So that was another storyline. I don't think people pay that any attention. I don't think they paid that any attention. Like, yo, Kenneth Walker, they did, and I see what the NFL was doing. This was supposed to happen Super Bowl 49. Right? It was supposed to happen Super Bowl 49. Not like Beast Mode wasn't doing his thing. Like they had him doing his thing on Super Bowl 49. But, look what happened, right? So that's something else that y'all should have thought. You should have clicked, right? Sam Darnold, number 14, once again, I don't want to sound like a broken record. He wins the Super Bowl with his 15. 4 + 1 is 5. I also did tell people, do be careful with the number five. Number five also can play a part secretly, right? The Rams didn't go, which was the number five seed, but guess what? Sam Darnold wins with his what? 15, number 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5, aka Sam Darnold wins with his 15. There you go, people. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about with that. Sam Darnold did it, I had, and the reason why I was going so hard at this was because I had a lot, when I say a lot of people disagreed with me, especially on Twitter, right? Man, going back and forth with certain people, and even on like me, on other YouTube pages, there was people saying, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, or give him a tinfoil you hat, right? This is when I was calling out Seahawks. Literally nobody was talking about Seahawks. Everybody was talking about Eagles, right? You had Eagles. There was people on Packers, right? Which I understood why, there was people on 49ers, right? The Rams, I'll say so because it's when the Rams, like half of the season, that's when people really jumped on board with the Rams, to be honest with you, right? But I'm talking about from the beginning of the season. It was 49ers. It was, I don't know what the fuck made people think the Eagles will go back to back. That's never going to happen. Eagles is never going back to back. Y'all need to get that out your goddamn head. Eagles is not going back to back. In what world are they going to let the Eagles go back to back? Anyway, that's another fucking story. The Bears, right? Just to name a few teams that people thought actually was going to, win the Super Bowl. Seahawks. And this was beginning of the season. Now, if you guys notice, if you go back to those videos where I spoke to the Seahawks, that still don't even have a lot of views. And I actually like that it doesn't. Just in case new people come in here and say, I don't know, I just jumped on the Seahawks. I dare anybody to say something like that. The videos is still there. It's still up. Nobody paid attention. See, once again, I'm not saying that you just have to listen to me. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I think some people come on here just for entertainment instead of actually taking notes and paying attention to what I'm talking about. I don't do this just to do it. I don't do it just to do it. Right? And yes, what a game, Miss Grove. I agree. Right? Said clean my nose. Damn, my nose looking crazy, right? Well, that's not Coke though. That's not Coke. But anyway, I'll clean my nose when I want to. Keep watching, right? I think that's probably somebody that had the Patriots and lost. You know how that goes. But once again, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, right? Man, I'm not sniffing Coke, y'all. I promise you, I don't come to Vegas to sniff Coke. I don't know what made people think that the Seahawks wasn't going to win when I tried to tell them in the beginning about the Seahawks. Take the Seahawks. You should at least have them to win, at least to go to the Super Bowl. Whoever you think is going to go to the Super Bowl, you have one ticket for them. Okay, because that's who you think. But you got to have a ticket for the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, clean the nose with them $100 bills. You know what I'm saying? Looking real good. This was a great game, right? Now that leads me to me, I don't think the game was boring. The game wasn't boring for me. I liked the game, especially because of what I had. If I had Seahawks and the under, why would I want a game back and forth score? You guys got to think, man. You got to get out of that. I don't like games. Listen, I need to be entertained, right? Because this is what the NFL is. They're entertainment. Just entertainment. But when you're rooting for a team and also you have money on the team, you don't want no good game. I don't understand why people want a good game when they actually have money on the line. I don't want a good game if I have money on the line. If I have Seahawks straight to win the game, why the fuck would I want a good game? Why would I want a good game? That's what I'm saying, because if I have money on a game, right? Seahawks, why would I want a good game? Why would I want back and forth? This is what I try to tell people. Well, now, if you're watching the game, you don't got no money on it, right? And your favorite team is not there, of course, you probably would, whatever. You want some entertainment. But when you got money on the game, bro, because like I said, this is just business. You got to look at it like business. But don't get me wrong. I don't shit on, like, because I watch. So you guys know that. And I know the games very well. But I don't want no good back and forth game. Why would I want a good back and forth game? I need the under to hit. I need the game to be one-sided. Right? Why would I want a good game? Why? Vegas was packed. Them Seahawks fans, I ain't gonna lie, them Seahawks fans yesterday, those Seahawks fans, shout out to y'all, because y'all came ready. Y'all came together. I have no favorite team no more. You guys know what my last favorite team was, and that actually happened to be the Patriots. And I was actually happy that they lost. Because somebody who knows the organization inside out, before Tom Brady, right? I already knew how this game was going to go. Which leads me to what I want to talk about. What the fuck made you think the Patriots was going to win that Super Bowl? Who gives a fuck about 250 fucking years, right? What the fuck made anybody think Drake fucking May was going to lift up a fucking trophy? See, now it's time for me to rant. Right? What the actual hell thought made you think the New England pick? Now, what I need you to do is to close your eyes as you're watching or listening to what I'm saying and paint the picture for yourself. What made Money Man? Wow, you crazy. I'm mad I didn't have it, right? What the hell made anybody think? And I'm not trying to like really be disrespectful to anybody, but I'm saying the whole point of why I have a Rig Scripted and Fixed channel is to put people on the real shit about what goes on in professional sports. I don't want any of you guys to stop watching it, because I watch it. But what I'm trying to say is the reason why I say the things I say is that make you see things differently. What the fuck made anybody think about this? The Patriots, shout out to everybody in my chat, shout out to everyone that's watching, right? Think about it. The Patriots is tied with what? Pittsburgh Steelers, right? With 6, right? 49ers have 5, Cowboys have 5. So if they can win, that would be 6 too, right? Yeah, I get it, right? So it's the Patriots and the Steelers at 5 apiece. I'm 6 apiece, right? If the Patriots would have won this game, because, obviously the Steelers got bumped the first round, so you eliminate them from the equation of winning 7, right? So now the only team that's left is the Patriots. If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, they get what? They get number 7. But really think about this. What the hell made anybody think, all jokes aside, what the hell made anybody think the Patriots was going to lift up the trophy at number 7 so quick since 2019? That was the last time we seen the Patriots lift up a trophy, right? The 2018 season, right? That's not that far. That's not that long ago. All you guys was alive. Really think about this shit, because that's what I was angry about, especially seeing all those Patriots fans. They still want to be Patriots fans, which I get it, right? They was all jerseyed out here in Vegas too. Them Patriots fans, they came. They came. But I had to just shake my head like, I've been there. I've done that. Right? I had success with it. But the fact that you guys is still thinking that Drake May is going to be the reason. He comes in his second year. Y'all think about it. He comes in his second year. Drake May comes in his second year. And he is responsible for giving the Patriots the most Super Bowl wins in NFL history. Did that not raise a red flag that any one of you guys, did you sit back and like really, did you sit back and think, the NFL is going to let 2-year, right, Drake May lift the trophy for the Patriots and give them 7, the most Super Bowls ever? They was going to let Drake May do that. You guys really believe that they was going to let Drake May do that? All jokes aside. You guys really believe that? It's not real, people. And this is why I tell people, you got to take your heart out of this. It's not real. This is business. You got to look at this as business. No, fuck all that 250 America. That shit don't matter, bro. That don't matter. Like I said, it's not always about winning the Super Bowl. It's about going to the Super Bowl, right? That's enough. That's enough. At least they can say, yes, they went to the Super Bowl. But winning, Drake May, second year, he gets to come in and be the person lifting up that trophy for the Patriots with seven rings. They didn't even let Tom Brady do that. I repeat, they didn't even let Tom Brady do that. Think about what I'm saying. They didn't even let Tom Brady do that. If we're not going to let the quote-unquote GOAT lead the Patriots to set, because remember, Tom Brady went, 6-3 against, in Super Bowls with the Patriots, he went 6-3, which means think about the 3 that he lost. 2 times, once to the Eagles, twice to the Giants. All the NFL had to do was let Tom Brady beat the Giants at least once, right? At least once. One of those 2, he could at least beat the Giants, right? Or they could have let him beat the Eagles again, right? Like he did earlier in his career. But they didn't do that. He lost to the Eagles the last time he faced off against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. He lost to the Giants twice. If they're not going to let Tom Brady get 7 with the Patriots, aka the most rings, what the fuck would make you think that they're going to let somebody come in his second year and win and lift up a fucking trophy and be the reason? Because let's keep it 100. Yes, we have all types of positions. We have all that. Safeties, tight ends, linebackers, wide receiver. We have all that, right? But let's keep it 100. A lot of people looks at the quarterback more than anybody first, right? You look at the quarterback first. You really think that the NFL was going to let that happen? That shit, that's what pissed me off about fans. That's what pisses me off about fans. And it's kind of hard to have these conversations because I'm not going to lie, out here in Vegas too, you got a lot of people that think it's real. A lot of people that think it's 100% real. So you guys know where I'm coming from. It's no secret about how I feel. So it's kind of hard being on that casino floor, from casino to casino to casino, listening in a sports book, all the sports books, and also when you at the tables, like the live tables, playing your games or whatever, just listening to people around this town, right? Even outside, have these conversations like it's real. And I looked at some people and I said, you really think the NFL is going to let Drake May lift up that trophy and give the Patriots the most Super Bowls in NFL? Based off of what? Now, we do know that these guys are These guys are pre-screened at a young age. That's what I believe. I don't care what no one say. I'm sticking with it. Anybody that comes into the league is already sought out as a kid. They already have it planned. Why do you think the NFL, not even the NFL, all sports, they do that. They already have they have it planned about, I'm going to say, to me, I feel like it's at least 10 years. And that's me being nice when I say 10 years. At least 10 years or better. Right? At least 10 years or better. They already know. Because remember, you got the draft. You got everything. Everything has to fall in line, right? The whole Drake May, we've seen him around professional players in basketball and football and how things come around. All this is all set up. It's already all set up, right? But you have to understand, it don't work that way. You can't just come in the league, bro. You can't just come in. The NFL is not going to let you just come in the league and just win like that. So you mean to tell me, because a lot of people kept saying, oh, he's going to do what Tom Brady did. You know, his second year. And shout out to the NFL with the way they promoted that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the NFL. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the NFL with the way they promoted that. That was all cool. To me, that went in one ear out the other. I ain't fall for that shit. I already knew what it is. Why you keep comparing him to Tom Brady? He never even won a Super Bowl yet. I don't care if he's in the Patriots, with the Patriots. I don't care if he's in his second year. People, you know what? I don't know how many times I got to say this, bro. Yo, shout out my boy Low. Yo, Low, my fault. I was listening to the live last night. I was tuned into your live the whole time, but you know, I was celebrating and I was celebrating that win, bro. And you said some good shit too last night. And we tried to tell people and they don't fucking listen. They don't listen. And shout out to Low, cause Low goes hard on. Yeah, they're not letting what he said. They're not letting the Pats get 7 yet. You know, I've always felt that way, but you know he goes hard at that. You know, so shout out to Low in the building with that shit. Like, going back to what I'm saying as far as that. What made, I don't, no, all jokes aside, anyone that's listening, for all you fans out there, what made you think that? Like realistically, what made you think Drake May, we're gonna let Drake May come in, lift that trophy? I'm not even a Josh Allen fan at all. Out of everything that he was going through, because it is ritual shaming and all that shit. It is. He hasn't even won a Super Bowl yet. They put him. They drafted him to the Bills. That's already a problem. Lamar, black quarterback, right? But one of the most popular quarterbacks in the NFL. He don't win. Right? Baker Mayfield, he's from that he's from the old draft class, you know, with them. He don't win. Right? Just to name a few. Now think about it. They don't win. What the fuck makes you think Drake May was gonna win that Super Bowl? Everybody fell for that 250. Everybody fell for that 250 bait, bro. Everybody fell for that 250 bait. America, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I saw what happens around when around the time when there's a new president. The Patriots don't always win every time it's some president gets elected. What the fuck does Trump have? What does Trump have to do? That's why you never hear me speak on that. What does Trump have to do with the Patriots winning? Hello, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Doesn't the What's America's, I don't want to say mascot, but yeah, what does the bald eagle? The Eagles won already. And you know, I've been waiting to say that too. I said, I'm going to wait till after the season when the Patriots fail. The Eagles won. That's America. That's America, people. And that's the shit that kills me. The Eagles won. That's America. That's America, people. That represents America. The eagle, the eagle, the eagle. I've been waiting to say that. If you guys know, this is my first time saying that, right? Well, no, we spoke about that before, but like going hard at it. The eagle represents America. It don't have to be red, white, and blue. I tell you this too. You guys should have knew the Patriots was going to lose the game when all throughout the game, all you were seeing was red, white, and blue. You noticed that, right? A lot of white, the most, right? With red and blue, right? The Super Bowl halftime. That shit that they pulled, I guess the day before the Super Bowl, when they showed a video of the fireworks, right? The red, white, and blue fireworks in the air and shit like that. It had people thinking that, oh, the Patriots is gonna win. People went out and probably bet the Patriots because of that. What else? Oh shit, what else? Oh yeah. A lot of celebrities. That's all you kept seeing was red, white, and blue. Look at the Super Bowl commercials. So in my mind, I'm like, it's too much. And the NFL, let's keep it 100 though. You can say what you want about the NFL, but the NFL is aware that a lot of people is catching on. So you know what the NFL is doing. They're baiting you even more. Let's make sure there's a lot of white, red, and blue. More white, red, and blue going on with like surrounding this whole Super Bowl, even to the point where we're going to make sure the Patriots wear white. Right? What happens? Everybody goes and what? They think the Patriot. You really think it's that easy? You really think it's that easy? They're not going to give it away that quick like that. Yeah, thank you. They use reverse. That's how they. I keep trying to tell people, listen, people. For anyone that is watching that's not in the chat, right? Just trust me on this one, right? I always say there's two sides you can be on. The people that think it's real or the people in our community. I'm sorry. A lot of you guys may not want to hear it, but that's the truth. You have our community and the people that think it's real. It's sad to say, people, you have to choose a side. You have to choose a side. You may not want to, but you have to choose a side. And when I say choose a side, what I'm trying to say is, listen, we're going to tell you one thing on how it goes. You know, you really, like if we say a certain team going to win now, you don't necessarily have to like just listen to us. But when we telling you how shit goes versus how the media is telling you, how the leagues is telling you, how the sports books is telling you, you should join our side because we're going to tell you how it really goes. They're going to bait you. Case in point, last night, people, last night is what it told you everything you needed to know, right? Which brings me to the whole thing of, wasn't last live. I think it was last live I brought it up, right? About how I kept seeing 1-7 a lot, right? And when I get home and we do another live, I'll break down with all my facts and shit like that, right? 1-7 came up a lot ever since the conference games was over. You started to see 1-7, 1-7, 1-7, which can mean one thing, and also 2-7, you know. 2-7, I said, okay, the number 2 seed can get their 7, right? And also 2 times 7 is 14, right? But also, notice how I'm very aware with this shit. NFL did a switch. They started promoting 1-7 a lot, to the point where you had famous people dying at 71, right? Certain people getting, when we do that live, that's when I'll break everything down, or I'll show you what I mean, right? 1-7 started to happen a lot. I said, that can only mean one thing. The difference between 1 and 7 is what? 6. The Patriots are going to stay on 6. The Patriots are going to stay on 6. New England Patriots are going to stay on 6. Now, I don't want to be the person to say I was the first to do it, or the first to notice it, but in the chat, right? In the chat, you guys remember the NFL photo, right? With all the quarterbacks. Well, I mean, with all the players, right? Standing, looking at the trophy, right? The media and everybody on Twitter and everybody on social media All they kept talking about was what? All they kept talking about was who was in the front. The final four teams that was in the front. Rams, Seattle, Broncos, New England Patriots, right? They're in the front. So ironically, it's letting you know what the conference championship was going to be. And Drake May and Sam Darnold were the two closest. And sure enough, yes, that's exactly what happened. It did. But I told people, fuck all of that. You don't even got to look that far. Y'all thinking too much. All you got to do is look at Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was right there dead in the middle. In the back. He was the first quarterback we saw. Not quarterback. I said, God damn. He was the first player we saw. Saquon Barkley was dead in the middle. Now, you know what, somebody can argue with me and say, well, he just won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. They won last year. So, of course, you're going to put the team that just won, the defending champions, you're going to put them right there dead set in the middle. But I told people, I said, pay attention to that. Look at it real good. Yeah, Bleacher Report is the worst. Respectfully, Bleacher Report is the worst. They're definitely in a club. Never listen to what they say or do the opposite. They work with, Bleacher Report is big. They work with the leagues. They work with sports books. They do all that. Right? So anyway, I said, look, now anybody in the chat or anyone that's watching, Saquon Barkley. I'm gonna do. I can't wait till when I get back. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do that live. Saquon Barkley was right there, dead in the middle. What's his number? Saquon Barkley's number is what? 26. He's number 26. Him right there told you everything you needed to know about the Super Bowl. That's right, Double P. BR betting. I can't stay. I'm telling. We're going to break it down. We're going to break them down. We are, right? Saquon Barkley's number 26, right, y'all? Think about that. 2 times 6 is what? 2 times 6 is 12, right? What have we been seeing about this Super Bowl? What have they been calling it? The 12. Even last night when Roger Goodell was talking, right? What was he talking about? Lobo got the clip, right? The number 12. The 12s, right? The 12s. When I did my last live, you know, even I was saying Drake May and Drew Lock, right? Which was something personal for me. That was personal. I didn't want you guys to go and like do that. That was just something I wanted to see, right? But what did I name that title? The 12s, right? I kept telling you guys the 12s. The 2 times 6 is 12. Saquon Barkley, number 26. It was letting you know right there, a 1 seed versus a 2 seed. Seattle, number 1. New England Patriots was the number 2 seed. Number 1 versus 2, that's the 12. They making a big deal about Tom Brady. They making a big deal with the New England Patriots as far as Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. The 12, right? And then also, if you really pay attention to it, 2 times 6 is 12. But also, what was the Patriots' record before last night in Super Bowls? I don't know. I think it was 6-5. I think it was 6-5. So anyone that's watching, are you following what I'm saying? Saquon Barkley's picture was right there in the middle, number 26. 2 times 6 is 12. The number 1 versus the number 2 seed, right? Fine. But if you look even deeper, the Patriots record is 6-5 in the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley's number is 26. 2 6s. Patriots was losing Super Bowl 60. 2 6s. Yeah, I was flooding Twitter, or I was replying on Twitter, replying that like on everywhere. You guys, you can fact check that. And I also put it on the post section. I said, I'm gonna just sit this one right here for y'all. Boom. 2 6. 2 6s. They're gonna be 6 and 6. Boom. Anytime Brady is used, usually somebody fails, like a Patrick Mahomes, you know. We seen what happened with Drake May, right? I don't know why anybody thought the New England Patriots was going to win without Tom. That makes no sense, people. You know what? I think a lot of people stuck on that happens with a lot of other teams too, where a team can win with multiple different quarterbacks. The New England Patriots hasn't won a Super Bowl if Tom Brady wasn't playing, right? In the 85 season against the Bears, the New England Patriots lost, right? 6 when Bledsoe was there, I remember that game like the back of my head. I think I almost remember every play of that game as a child. Patriots, that had me, man. I was devastated. Patriots lost. Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots lost. They was doing good in the first half and lost the game, right? And then now this one with Drake May, they only win with Tom Brady, which was 6. I don't understand. I don't understand why. I don't understand why people fall for that shit. The number 250, but just because it was America, what does that mean? All the Patriots had to do was go to the Super Bowl. That's it, just go. And they'll fail. They did it against the Eagles. Right? Tom Brady's MVP year. Right? Somebody said Broncos is winning next year. There's no chance that the Broncos is winning next year, respectfully. The Broncos is not winning next year. No chance. Y'all could book that. The Broncos is not winning the championship next year. So first and foremost, I'm going to tell... Well, it's going to connect with everything I'm saying, so I'm not going off track. The Broncos is not winning. I said it time after time. I even had people on YouTube get at me in the comments. Not under here, but I stated something. Who's the face of the league right now? Patrick Mahomes is the face of the league. Now, if anyone that's watching, I'm gonna put y'all into some game. Right? Yeah, the gematria shit is... like I told you, I don't have no problem with gematria, but I'm gonna break down why gematria is so horrible, though, for certain people. Like, y'all gotta stop doing that shit. Right? I don't do gematria. I go by what's in front of our face. But that whole gematria shit, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, that shit poison, low. Right? Now, right, the Broncos is not winning no championship. No, I don't want to say not for a while. They're not winning no championship. I'm gonna tell you why. What did I say? What did I say about the face of the league? If Patrick Mahomes is the face of the league, right? Whoever's the face of the league, if you notice, especially with today's time, right? Let's start with Tom Brady now, because usually, like, that's what we usually talk about. The game shifted, like when Tom Brady and on, it shifted, especially with sports betting and all that stuff, betting, right? The Patriots, when the Patriots was there, when Tom Brady was there with the Patriots, you did not see the Jets win a Super Bowl, the Miami Dolphins win a Super Bowl, or the Buffalo Bills win a Super Bowl. None of those 3 teams won a Super Bowl when Tom Brady, the face of the league, was active. Shit, they haven't won even after. But anyway, while Tom Brady was active, the face of the league with the Patriots, nobody in his division won the Super Bowl. Hey, shit, I'll tell you this one, I'll do you one better. They had to take the Colts out of the AFC East, because remember, the Colts was in the AFC East. They had to take them out, and then they was able to win the Super Bowl, right? But if the face of the league, no, right, whatever team he's on, no other team in that division is going to win a Super Bowl. The NFL's not letting that happen, right? Unless things change, and that's what I mean when I'm talking about the Broncos. Patrick Mahomes is still the guy. Right? It doesn't matter. Okay, listen. Okay, so you're gonna sit there and say the face of the league didn't even make the playoffs. What does that mean? Tom Brady. Okay, Tom Brady. Last time I checked, he was hurt. Did the Patriots make the playoffs that year that Tom Brady got hurt, when Tom Brady was the face of the league? Because he's calling me a clown. Right? What happened when Tom Brady was the face of the league and he got hurt? Somebody in the chat, could you guys let me know what happened? It doesn't matter if they ain't win the division. As long as Patrick Mahomes is there, no other team is going to win. The Raiders are not winning. The Chargers is not winning. The Broncos is not winning. As long as Patrick Mahomes is there, they're not winning. They went 11-5. Thank you, Tom. They went 11-5 The same script that happened with Tom Brady happened with Patrick Mahomes just now. I already have videos on that. You guys can go check that. And this is why I say a lot of people come here and they don't listen. Yeah, he wants to be a troll, so we're gonna talk about it. we gonna talk about it, right? The Broncos, at least not what you want to say. Next year they're gonna win the championship. Next year they're gonna win. They didn't win this year, but next year they're gonna win. We'll see. First and foremost, let me say this: they got Sean Payton as a coach. That right there is a dead giveaway. Sean Payton's the coach. Off rip, you should already just skip and give up on give up. You should already give up. A lot of people's upset. So back to what I was saying, if you play in that division, your team's usually not going to win. It's not my opinion, y'all. It's not my opinion. Go take your papers out, take your pen out, go do your research. When Tom Brady was the face of the league, the Bills, Jets, or Miami Dolphins ain't win no Super Bowl. As long as Patrick Mahomes been in the league so far, right? Because I understand, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let me say that. So far, right? Since Patrick Mahomes became a starter, the Broncos ain't have no success winning, lifting up a Super Bowl trophy. The Raiders ain't have no success lifting up a Super Bowl trophy. The Chargers ain't have no success lifting up a Super Bowl trophy. Patrick Mahomes is still the face of the league currently. Why the hell are they going to have another person in that division win the Super Bowl? Now, you know what it is, right? I think you guys never heard shit like this, right? And because I came and I thought about it. When you don't hear shit like this, you kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what nah, you're wrong. It's because you don't hear that. You don't hear that on TV. You don't hear that. You don't hear them on ESPN say the things that I'm saying. So to you, it's like, get the fuck out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. The facts is there. And it's not even my opinion. It's there. And this is what I try to tell people. When you come here, this is what it's about. The Chiefs dynasty is bro, I'm not a Chiefs fan. You know what I'm saying? So you can't convince me that I don't care about. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm not a Chiefs fan, bro. It don't. And we are in a parity league right now, right? It's a meaning like you're going to see different teams win the Super Bowl until a new dynasty comes about, right? It's all a pattern. It's all a pattern, right? And I try to tell people. It's not about just listening to me. I'm the end all be all. But no, sometimes you got to put your thinking cap on. I'm not, but I don't want you thinking I'm some type of Patrick Mahomes fan. I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan. I bet Patrick Mahomes when I need to bet him. I fade Patrick Mahomes when I need to fade him. Matter of fact, I tell you this one, since you think I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan, if you have the time, just go into all my videos talking about Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure these guys in the chat will let you know. Now, I'm not a hater, but I'm anti-Patrick Mahomes like a motherfucker. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you that. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is in real football. I don't think he's the top guy. I say that all the time. If I have to bet on Patrick Mahomes, it's because I think the Chiefs will win a certain game. I only lost one Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes, and that was me fading him, and that was against the 49ers part 2. I think the one from like 2-3 years ago, whatever that was, right? That's the only Super Bowl I lost as far as regarding Patrick Mahomes. Any other time I faded him or took him, any other time I won, right? But I'm not a Patrick Mahomes fan. Absolutely, positively not at all. I don't want people to think I'm a Chiefs fan. It's not just you though, right? Because there are people that think that though. So that's the reason why I had to say that, right? But the whole thing is, What I told people is Patrick Mahomes had the Tom Brady script as far as his first half of the year. Let's just say that. I don't think he's going to have a Tom Brady script his second half. And what I mean by second half is post-injury. It was similar to Tom Brady pre-injury, but post-injury, I don't think so. Absolutely. No. Because sports is a little different. They're different with how they do things now, especially with the fact that sports betting is big. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but I talk about it all the time. Sports betting has a lot to do with the way how these games end up. You may not want to hear it. I'm talking about everybody. You may not want to hear it, but that's just the truth, y'all. It's the truth. So even if the Chiefs take a hiatus for a little, which I don't care. Matter of fact, I'd rather, honestly, to tell you the truth, I would rather that, to be honest with you. Right? I would rather see the Chiefs don't do nothing. Now, I tell you what, I said it before. I do think Patrick Mahomes is good enough for maybe one more ring. 4 rings. Ties up with Joe Montana, right? At best. That's me. At best. At best. At best. And he won't win again. Right? Because anybody that's new to this channel, shout out to y'all, right? Whether you like me or not, too. Anyone that's new to this channel, if you have the time, go into my lives, you would see a video that I had, a live that I have saying Patrick Mahomes has the same career as Steph Curry. He will have the same career as Steph Curry. Don't ask me what I mean. Listen to it. I broke it down for you. Patrick Mahomes and Steph Curry, they are the same. I kind of knew that they was going to end up the same when Patrick Mahomes came in the league. His first year starting, when he put up that 50 piece, right? What was it? 50 touchdowns or something like that, right? And he had a great season. I said, I see what the NFL is doing. They propped him up the same way they propped up Steph Curry in the NBA. Too quick, the way they propped it up. I see what they're doing here. It's the same. They're one and the same. Patrick Mahomes and Steph Curry is one and the same. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady is not one and the same. That was just pre-injury, right? And then also Chiefs is getting a new stadium, blah, blah, blah. We had that conversation. Oh, we'll revisit it. We will revisit it again. But I'm just saying like that. So I say all this to say the Broncos have a lot against them. The fact that Patrick Mahomes is still a face, and also Sean Payton's their coach. And we already know Sean Payton punishment. Sean Payton, everybody knows why Sean Payton won't win no Super Bowl. A lot of people say Bounty Gate. Well, I'm here to tell you Bounty Gate was not, it was quote unquote real, right? Whatever. It was sort of real, but that wasn't why. That wasn't why. It was something else that he was doing legally, right? And he had to be punished for it. That's why he got suspended, right? But then he gets suspended the whole year, Sean Payton. It was something else that he was doing legally, right? Which I don't like. I don't want to speak on that because I don't like. I mean, if we have to do a live on that, we can, right? But it was something that he was NFL-wise, he was doing legally, so they had to punish him. So he took a year off, and they used Bounty Gate, right? They used Bounty Gate as an excuse, right? You guys know about the drugs that Sean Payton was dealing? Yeah, a lot of you guys don't know about that, right? About those pills Sean Payton was dealing in the NFL, stealing in the NFL. So instead of using that as a reason why we'll punish you, let's use Bounty Gate as the reason why we punish you. Sort of like what happened with Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan left the NBA to go to baseball. Yeah, see? I bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know that. I bet you a lot of people ain't even know that. Right? Sean Payton, right, had gotten the legal troubles And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, before you bet on Broncos, you got to understand this. As long as he's, I'll put it like this: we'll have the better argument if Sean Payton wasn't the coach. If somebody, if there was another coach, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can have that conversation. But as long as Sean Payton's the coach, you can't bet on the Broncos winning the Super Bowl unless he done did some shit to pay all that back. But it was the drug dealing that was going on. And if I have to do a live and show you guys, I will. I just don't have it in front of me, right? It was the drug dealing he was doing in the NFL, right? Instead of smearing his name, what we're gonna do is use Bountygate as a reason why we suspend you, not for the drug dealing that was going on in the NFL. Michael Jordan effect. The same thing. The same thing. Whatever excuse they use for Michael Jordan retiring, come on, how you retire that quick in '93 to go play baseball, and then think about it. He came back in March in 1995. They won the 1993 NBA Finals. So what is that, like? I don't know, a year and a half or so. Like, he goes to play baseball, right? And to come back to the NBA. Think about how that worked. And what was Michael Jordan's excuse? Oh, I wanted to do that because my father always wanted to see me be a baseball player. Bullshit. So how come you ain't leave earlier? Michael Jordan didn't have to have 3 rings in order to do that. He could have left earlier. His father passes away. He retires. And then he goes to play baseball. My father always wanted me to play baseball. You was already the guy. You could have did it after the first ring or after the second ring. Matter of fact, shit, they made you the face before you won the first ring. That's the reason why, one of the reasons why you had won a Superbowl, NBA Finals anyway, when they made you the face. That's why I'm telling people, you can't listen to what they tell you. There's always something underneath that. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like the fake, the Deflate Gate. Bouncy Gate was used as a prop. It wasn't real. And this is what I mean by real, right? Because the NFL is it's just business. It's just business. We're gonna use that as a reason to suspend him. So as long as Sean Payton's there in the Broncos, I don't know, Broncos fans, you may want to get rid of him if you feel like you're gonna win a Super Bowl. But no. And especially with the fact that a lot of people got paid off for the Broncos winning the division before last season, there was a lot of money in the Broncos to win, and they actually won. Shit, they ended up with the 1 seed, as a matter of fact. The overall 1 seed. I don't know about that, bro. You know, I don't know about that. So, you know, this Super Bowl, I call it the Michael Jordan, Tom Brady effect, right? Shout out to Michael Jordan, shout out to Tom Brady, right? First and foremost, after Michael Jordan left the Chicago Bulls, motherfucking Chicago Bulls, they have no success. Not even with D Rose. Going to the playoffs, yeah. But first and foremost, that's how you know it was bullshit, because while D Rose was the face of the Chicago Bulls and doing his thing at that time, LeBron James was still there. Right? Remember LeBron James, Heat to the Cavs to the Heat and all that. You really thought that they was going to let Chicago Bulls and D Rose win a championship while let me tell you something. Chicago Bulls ain't winning no championship no time soon. At least yet. I don't even think I'm going to be alive by the time Chicago Bulls win the championship. Right? For the most part, a lot of people call Michael Jordan a GOAT. Right? They call Michael Jordan a GOAT. Right? Fair enough. Right? You guys have your opinions. Michael Jordan is known as the GOAT. Fine. Whatever. Overall, let's just say overall. Right? Fine. That's a different argument. Why does the NFL Rod hurts so bad. When you say ride, explain what you mean when you say that. Um, Michael Jordan, he wins. There's no way they was gonna let Derrick Rose beat LeBron James and lift up a trophy, right? Fast forward, Tom Brady. What do they call him? Do they not call Tom Brady the GOAT? Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Known as the GOAT, right? For anybody that thinks it's rigged, for anybody that thinks it's real, that's not the discussion if it's real or fake. Tom Brady is known as the GOAT. That's fine. So Tom Brady being known as the GOAT, what the fuck makes anybody think, oh, I'm sorry about that. What the hell makes anybody think that they are going to let somebody like a Drake May just come in and win a Super Bowl that quick? That is my argument. Right? That's my argument. So you said Joe Montana is the actual GOAT. When the 49ers won their last Super Bowl, who was the quarterback? Somebody in the chat. I'm getting to a point. It's a point I have. I'm reading the comments, y'all. For example, the game before they bought out all kinds of retired Hall of Famers. They important. Oh, Jalen, because Jalen Hurts was a good boy. He's a good boy, black good boy. You see what I'm saying? That's why. He's a good black boy. And actually, it's funny that you asked me about that whole Jalen Hurts shit, because I have a theory about that you might want to hear on one of my lives. I like that question, why they riding Jalen Hurts so far. But it has a lot to do with just the Eagles organization as a whole, right? But okay, yeah. So for the for anyone that says Joe Montana is the GOAT, but guess what? The 49ers in the mid 90s won their last Super Bowl. Everybody in the chat just said it. We're young. Joe Montana was 4-0 in the Super Bowl, right? But guess what? The 49ers still won another Super Bowl after him. This is when your man went to what? To the Chiefs, right? Chiefs, ironically. When your man Joe Montana went to the Chiefs, right? The 49ers were still able to win a Super Bowl without Joe Montana, right? So that's why I say, not me, but you know, I was a Tom Brady fan. You guys know that. But Tom Brady, the Pats winning a Super Bowl after him, I don't think we are going to see that anytime soon, people. That would diminish everything, whether real or fake, y'all. Real or fake, that would diminish everything. It really wouldn't make no sense if Tom Brady was to win the Super Bowl. I mean, Tom Brady. If Drake May was to win the Super Bowl, you just got a Tom Brady statue. Now, this ain't a Nick Foles statue, because, you know, the Eagles was able to do it again, right? This is different. This is the whole legacy and everything. Let's keep it 100. Nick Foles, yes, he bought, because I think he bought the Eagles their first Super Bowl. That's why, right? So that's why it meant something to give him a statue, if I'm not mistaken, right, guys? Like, that was a historic moment for the city of Philadelphia and the fans. So that's why he had got the statue. But we're talking about the Tom Brady statue, right? The Tom Brady statue was different, right? Because that's years of starting from, let's just say starting from 2000. He just got his statue, and over the summer, right? And this past summer, right? So that's like 25 years in the making, right? To actually really let that happen, right? Why in the hell would you just let somebody come in that quick and win a Super Bowl with that same organization? Right? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, why? Like why would they do that? That's the reason why I was laughing at people when I said, or when they said the Patriots is going to win. I don't give a fuck about 250. America 250 don't mean nothing for the Patriots. There's been plenty of times the Patriots have failed when something was going on with America. They got six losses. They lost to the Bears. They lost to the Packers, right? They lost to the Giants. They lost to the Giants. They lost to the Eagles, right? And now they lose to the Seahawks. The Patriots should be 12-0. Damn near. That's what they really should be, right? If anytime something happens with America, doesn't mean that the Patriots is always going to win. You have to pay attention to how our country is right now. If things are bad in our country, right? You know, you got the whole shit with ICE, you know, just a lot of shit going on. That right there can symbolize that America's not doing good, which will mean that the Patriots, which is quote unquote America's real team, will lose. Thank you, Lo. The Pats losing just symbolizes the obvious collapse of the country. No way in hell did they have a chance to win. That's basically what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. Whenever there's something going on with the Patriots or America, doesn't mean that the Patriots is always going to win. And I hope, and you know, yo, Lo, you know what's so crazy? We had that conversation before. We said that years ago. It doesn't mean that they're always going to win. And this is from a former Pats fan. You guys know that. Anybody that's in the chat, anyone that's listening, right? If you do end up subscribing, which like, comment, and goddamn subscribes, because we only got 31 likes. 60 people watching, 31 likes. I know that's over half, but I need more. Let's go. Stop playing around. Listen to this knowledge, right? Because that's what you're going to get here in Rig Scripted and Fix. You're not going to get the other. You're not gonna get the fluffer, right? Like those other fake channels and shit like that. You're not gonna get that over here, right? So anyway, right? As a Pats, I was a Pats fan. You guys know that. I showed you guys all the evidence. I had a lot of success with being a Pats fan, but I remember I was born in '85, so the Bears one I can't tell you. I remember that one, right? Right. I was a Pats fan before Tom Brady. I remember the heartbreak when I was a Pats fan and Bledsoe lost. I remember this. I remember when they lost to the Giants after the perfect season. I started to raise an eye about that one. But anyway, because they was comparing that to the whole Dolphins perfect season, right? And then when they lost to the Giants again, right? And then losing to the Eagles after Tom Brady's MVP season, which I kind of knew that was going to happen because I was always on that train of when you usually get the MVP, you usually lose that. So I kind of knew what was going to happen. I didn't want to believe it, but I kind of knew what was going to happen. Right. So, right. And then fast forward to now, to today. There's always something going on in America. It may not be super big, but there's always something going on in America when the Patriots play a Super Bowl. I know this for a fact. As a Patriots former fan, diehard fan, I know this. That doesn't always mean that they're going to win, y'all. That's the reason why you notice I never really did no live on America 250. I didn't do that. I couldn't do it. I didn't understand why people was talking about that, right? Because there was a couple of people I rebutted, right? And you know what I said to them? You know what I said to them? I said, well, you do know, right? You do know, if you want to talk about that 250 shit, you do know that the Seahawks, they made a post. And when I say, I'm talking about the media, the sports media gave you a hint, right? After the conference championships, right? They gave you a hint of who was going to win. They kept talking about the Seahawks record when they had the patch, right? The Seahawks have a patch that say what? That has number what on it? Number 50, right? So they have a patch that say number 50 in plain sight, right? 250, they have 50. What was their record in the Super Bowl? 1-2. It's their 4th Super Bowl appearance. Number 4, people, that is. What did I tell you? Number 4 and 14 is going to be involved in the Super Bowl. I was right about that. Tried to tell you. I shout out to anyone that listened to me. Thank you for listening to my knowledge. Right? Number 4 and 14 is going to be involved in the Super Bowl one way or another, whether you like it or not. Right? So, yeah, they're 1-2. So if they're 1-2 and they're playing in Super Bowl number 4 and they talk about the patch with 50, what does that mean? Seattle can become what? 2-2. They can win their 2nd Super Bowl, right? Defeating that whole curse with the patch or whatever. The patch had 50 on it. 250 right there. But you guys is talking about some America 250. Nah, the 250 was right in front of you with the Seahawks the whole time. They're going for their 2nd Super Bowl, right? And they had that 50 patch. 250 was right there in front of y'all face. You see what I'm saying? America 250. America turning 250, right? July, what is it? This July 4th, right? This July 4th, America will be 250. That would be their age or some shit like that, right? 250. So everybody made a big deal about that. So they're gonna win the Super Bowl because of that bullshit. Bullshit. See, that's what I like to do. When you guys come here, I want you guys to learn some shit, bro. Because the shit that you guys, the information that you guys is getting from the media, all of you guys, the information that you getting from the media, they're fucking lying to you, bro. They lying to you. You may not want to believe it, but they lying to you. In our community, we just going to speak about the real. You may not like how I say it, but it's the truth. There was no way to patch it. Listen, Drake May is going to be trash from here on out. Would he have some moments? Of course. Of course. Right? Can the Patriots possibly win another Super Bowl at some point in their lives? Right? I'll tell you this. Well, last live I said maybe not now. Right? And the reason why I say that is because you got to realize the NFL only has 60 Super Bowls. Right? They only have 60 Super Bowls, which means there's going to be 60 more. The NFL's here to stay. There's going to be more Super Bowls. Right? There's going to be more Super Bowls. We're in Super Bowl 60 now. Give it 60 more years. There's a chance that they could possibly, maybe, there's a chance that they can win again. Because you got to think about all the other teams that have maybe 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls. They got to win as well. Somebody's going to win. To the point where somebody's going to catch up to 6 eventually. Right? And then that's no longer going to be a big deal. Kind of like thinking about the NBA. You got the Lakers with what? The Lakers the Lakers have a lot. Boston Celtics, they have a lot. So, you know what I mean? Celtics and then Lakers, right? And then there's other teams, you know, Bulls got 6 and, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But the Celtics and Lakers they're king, right? But you got a whole bunch of other teams still winning. Eventually, 6 will maybe it won't be a big deal. But it's still fresh right now. We only have 60 Super Bowls. There's 32 teams. Right? So you got to understand, at some point, 6 probably won't even be a big deal. It'll probably be on the low end. We probably won't be allowed to see all that other shit. But as long as you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just right. Who's gonna separate themselves? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so you guys understand what I'm saying when it comes to this shit, right? The Patriots was bait. They was huge bait. I don't know why anybody thought that they was going to actually win the Super Bowl. I said it's a tight game, right? I mean, no. Pre-game, I was saying that I can understand why, I'm 50-50. Because in my mind, I'm like, why are they there besides 250? But then I thought about it right before the game. I said, fuck it. This is only about America 250. But it's not going to end up the way you guys think it's going to end up. It's going to end up in a loss. This is the reason why on Lowe's Live, when he asked, what do I think about this whole mess with Bill Belichick, even Tom Brady's name, Robert Kraft? I said exactly what I thought. This is just to get things hyped for the Super Bowl, right? Tom Brady, well, not even say him, Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick is going to go into the Hall of Fame. If not this one, they're going to go into the Hall of Fame. My prediction is Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft will all get inducted at the same time. Right? Not that that's a big deal, right? But to me, I can see it because they did the whole ride together. Owner, coach, quarterback. You get what I'm saying? Owner, coach, quarterback to get 6. That's the most. So why not just put them all in the Super Bowl, all in the Hall of Fame at the same time? They're going to go. There's no way Bill Belichick is not going to go. Them stories was fake. I just thought about something. The Super Bowl logo, if you look at it, it had the bridge. Remember around America, all the bridges was collapsing and the fall of the country is symbolism. There you go. It's all symbolism. They made a big deal about that bridge. And you know what's so crazy too? I'm glad you said that about the whole bridges. When you guys heard me talk about Pittsburgh Steelers, right? When I was like on my little Pittsburgh Steelers run, right? It's funny that they made sure they had the bridge in the Super Bowl logo. And then you said what you just said about, all the bridges collapsing in America, America collapsing. And it's funny. What city is known for bridges? You know the city that's known for bridges in America, y'all? You want me to do a live on baseball? I have a field day with baseball. Baseball is one of the freaking easiest things to break down. How they rig shit so crazy, right? That's nothing. You do that. Do you know? No, it's not San Francisco. Nope. You want to know what it is? It's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh. That city has the most bridges surrounding them. Pittsburgh. Yep. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has the most. The same year, which is this year, where's the draft at, y'all? Nope, it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has the most bridges surrounding them, though. Yep, the most bridges is surrounded by that city. Surrounding that city. There's a whole bunch. Like a whole bunch. Right? The draft is in Pittsburgh this year. Yep. There you go, GOAT. It's Pittsburgh. The draft is in Pittsburgh. The draft is in Pittsburgh. The logo, Super Bowl logo, they make sure to put, even though San Francisco, the bridge, they make sure to put a bridge there. You guys understood why I was on my little Pittsburgh running for a little bit? Especially when I told you guys bet Pittsburgh to go to this, to go to the playoffs. That's a no-brainer. Sure enough, they did. So you're right about how things connect. Right? Pittsburgh. See what I'm saying? That's why I was on my run. I'm telling people Pittsburgh is going to beat Baltimore. I know a lot of people was on heavy on Baltimore. Baltimore going to go to the playoffs. No, they're not. No, they're not. Pittsburgh is going to beat them. Pittsburgh is going to have a playoff game. They're going to have a playoff game. Commanders Win a division B? That's a good question, Dance and Poppy. Well, all right, let me tell you guys this. For my one of my picks for next season, for sure, is Commanders to make the playoffs. Right? Commanders to at least make the playoffs. Right? These are the things that I'm thinking about right now, pending to change, because obviously we're gonna have lives talking about football throughout these weeks. Just because football is done, we're gonna talk about early predictions throughout these months, just to still keep it there. I'm gonna tell you certain things that, I'm on and shit like that. I want to hear your thoughts, blah, 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 blah. Right? But these are the things I'm rocking with. So far, Washington Commanders to at least have a 7th seed. Right? Hear me out. Just at least to have a 7th seed at best. Winning the division, who knows? But at least to have a 7th seed at best. Right? So that's one. Number two, Philadelphia Eagles to miss the playoffs. Philadelphia Eagles to miss the playoffs. As of right now, that's as of right now, I am fading Philadelphia Eagles to make the playoffs. I know a lot of people probably is like, you're bugging the fuck out. I know that. I know a lot of you guys watching this like, you're bugging out. It's not going to happen. But that's for right now. That's for right now. I'm fading Philadelphia Eagles to make the playoffs. I am against them making the playoffs next year. I do think they will struggle next year. Yes, the writings was on the wall for me this season. Right? So if anyone that can see that, shout out to you. Right? Do I think the NFC is going to win again? That's a good fucking question. That's a good question. I do have my thoughts, right? It's not like I don't want to share it with you guys. I do. I do want to share it with you guys, but as you know, this year I was on the NFC to win the Super Bowl, right? I said that prior to the season. Like, am I taking NFC or AFC? Matter of fact, no. I'll find a clip where I said it last year after the Chiefs had lost to Philly. I said NFC was going to win again, which they just did, right? Seahawks. I have a thought. I have a thought, right? I have a thought on what's going to happen next year, but we're going to do a live about that. Are they going to give Caleb Williams a ring? Only light-skinned black quarterbacks win the Super Bowl. Well, you guys know how I feel about that. I stated that plenty of times. You have to have a certain look as a black quarterback to win, which goes back to what homie said a couple of comments ago about Jalen Hurts. He said, why is the NFL on Jalen Hurts so far? He has a certain image, right? He could be the quote-unquote cool guy, but you can't be like Lamar. And like, you guys know how I feel. Lamar to me is the most talented in if it was real football, and what I mean by that is not the bullshit with like the NFL controlling the outcomes of the game. I think Lamar will be the best quarterback in the league. Hands down. Just joined the chat. Shout out to you. What up? Right? I think Lamar actually is the best in without, the game being controlled or manipulated. And I say Lamar. I said that plenty of times. Like right now, I say Lamar. Right? They're not going to let someone like him win the Super Bowl. At least now, he's going to have to change up his image. And you know what? I think he will. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but like, I could see him cutting that hair, bro. I can see it. I can definitely see it. I can see him going back to his old style. I can see it. But time is running out. Josh Allen time is running out. Heisman as a freshman. I can see it. But these are just like some tickets I still have to go downstairs and cash. I cashed all the other ones on my app. You know what I'm saying? All the apps I was using, I cashed those. Obviously, you cash those. But like these winners chicken dinners, I still have to do that. When I was at the South Point, I cashed those already. So like it's Super Bowl Super Bowl was great. It was real fucking great. It was great. Yeah, so I hear you guys also talking about the Bills. Shout out to everyone that's watching. How many of you guys think that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl next year? Right? Because this is the meat and potatoes. This is what you guys want to talk about. I know this is what you guys want to talk about. Let's be for real. This is what you guys want to talk about. Let's keep it 100, right? So let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Right? let's get into the meat and potatoes. Oh, the game ending on even. Did I give that out for you guys the last live? Like the game will end up even. The final score will be even, right? I think I told you guys that. So yeah, I definitely hit on that one as well. But yeah, let's get to the meat and potatoes. How many of you guys think the Bills is winning? Right? How many of you guys think the Bills is going to win the Super Bowl? Keep it 100. Keep it 100, because you guys saw the new graphic that the NFL put out, right? How many of you guys saw that? One in the chat if you saw that. One in the chat if you saw the new graphic. Well, for next year, right? Don't you see Josh Allen right there in the back? One, right? Shout out to my guys, right? Yeah, they see it. They saw it. I'm sorry, right? Who's right there in the front? The way Saquon Barkley was in the front. Who's in the front? Put it in the chat right now. I'm gonna put y'all to work. Put it in the chat. Y'all write it. Y'all write it. Who's in the front right there? Bow. Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen's right there in the front, right? Because especially, I think there's like two different ones, right? There's one with just all the Bills players, right? And then there's one with other players and shit like that, right? Because Patrick Mahomes is not in the graphic, right? But they have one. It's like two of them floating. Well, official ones. There's one for just the Bills, right? And then there's one with, the NFL players, right? But Josh Allen happens to be in the back. And what I mean by the back, it's right there in front of our faces. Now, we had this conversation about Josh Allen weeks and weeks and weeks ago. And for anyone that's new, what I stated was, well, first off, I was the first one to talk about if the whole thing with Josh Allen has to win now, what's the excuse? Before the media had got to that, because we did a live on that. And what did I not say? What did I just say? I said, yo, guys, expect the media to talk about Josh Allen has to win now. Sure enough, what happened? They started talking about that. But here, we did that live before they started speaking on that, right? So my thing was this whole narrative of him having to win now. I told people it makes no sense for Josh Allen to win now because he won't really get respect. If you really know the game of football, and let's assume it's real, 1,000%, right? Let me see. I just try to give the knowledge, man. That's it. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for rocking with me, man. That's all. Hopefully you guys are at work right now or home, whatever y'all doing and y'all listening, shout out to y'all. Right? I say, yo, it makes no sense for Josh Allen to win right now. He's not going to get no respect because you doing it when the person that stood in your way the whole time, it takes for him to get hurt for you to now go to the Super Bowl, whether you win it or not. Forget winning the Super Bowl, y'all. Forget the Super Bowl. Forget winning it. Right? Right, Mikey? Forget winning it. Making it. How much respect even this is not about real or fake. How much respect would Josh Allen have gotten if the Buffalo Bills was to make the Super Bowl? Me personally, I'll tell you this, not a lot. And the reason why I say not a lot is because, for one, Patrick Mahomes is injured. So it took your man Patrick Mahomes to be injured in order for you to make a Super Bowl. Forget winning, but to make the Super Bowl. See, at least you could say for Joe Burrow, right? Whether will or fate, he beat Patrick Mahomes to go to the Super Bowl. You can't say that about Josh Allen if that was to happen this year. If that would have had happened this year, how much respect could I actually give you? That's why I say this media is so fucking stupid. Stop listening to these motherfuckers. What I mean by stop listening to them is you can listen to them obviously because we have to listen to the dumb shit they say in order so we can like go against it. So they have a place. They actually have a place in sports. They do. But their takes are so fucking stupid. They have stupid ass takes. I wonder if they believe, if they're forced to say the things that they're saying. That's another story. That's alive, right? That we are definitely going to do. Because I got to do one dedicated to the media, right? Josh Allen makes no sense winning the Super Bowl this year. You know what would make more sense? And I did a live on it. If Josh Allen was to win the Super Bowl next year, at least, Patrick Mahomes comes back. And then again, that still won't even be right because they can still use the excuse he's just coming back from that devastating injury. So Patrick Mahomes needed time to heal. But that's another story, right? Patrick Mahomes comes back, and especially if he's playing week 1 and here on out, right? He comes back. You meet Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. That'd be crazy if what I'm about to say actually does happen. So Patrick Mahomes, I personally think Patrick Mahomes will meet Josh Allen in the playoffs this upcoming season. The next one. If whoever's gonna win, we have to see. That's another conversation, right? But Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, NFL. If y'all probably already have it already like labeled out on how you're gonna do it. Josh Allen meets Patrick Mahomes at some point in the playoffs. He beats Patrick Mahomes, right? They can end up going to the Super Bowl. It don't have to be in the conference championship. I don't know. It could be the freaking, depending on how their records are. It could be a wild card. It could be a divisional, whatever. You beat Patrick Mahomes, and then you go to the Super Bowl, and there Josh Allen can play in SoFi Stadium because he is a member of SoFi. He is down with the SoFi boys. Just like Patrick Mahomes and God damn, I just got struck for a second. You guys know what I'm talking about. What's the shit Patrick Mahomes is with? What's that shit Patrick Mahomes is with? God damn, what's that shit Patrick Mahomes is with? The same thing, the same State Farm, right? Is it State Farm? Right? Well, the same shit Patrick Mahomes is, it could be Josh Allen as well. Josh Allen is with SoFi. Yeah, State Farm. Thank you, Gold. I just got fucking twisted for a second. Right? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was State Farm, right? But Aaron Rodgers is with State Farm. Patrick Mahomes is State Farm, right? And yeah, Patrick Mahomes is State Farm. Josh Allen is SoFi. So wouldn't it make more sense for Josh Allen to play in the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium? Because he's a SoFi boy. And he's also from Cali. Right, guys? So chat. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not saying that this is going to happen, but it would make more sense for Josh Allen next year. We did the live already. We already did the live. We did live weeks back. We have a part 1 and a part 2 of Josh Allen has no excuses. A part 1 and a part 2. We have both. But how we break it down is different from how they say it on TV because they're not allowed to say that. They're not allowed, not allowed, but you got to do your own research. SoFi boy, you know, he has a contract with SoFi. He's a member of SoFi. Super Bowl's going to be in SoFi Stadium once again, right? Josh Allen, why don't you just go to the Super Bowl this year? I mean, this upcoming year. And make sure you beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs by doing so. Wouldn't that make more sense for Josh Allen? You guys get what I'm saying? It would make more sense for Josh Allen to do things that way. Let's see what happens. Now, do the Bills win? Now, I need you guys to understand this too, though. Please understand this too. Yes, he's a Cali boy, so he can end up doing what Sam Darnold just did yesterday. A Cali boy winning the Super Bowl. Shout out. I like what they did for Sam Darnold. You want to know why? Maybe because when he was with the Jets, I promise you, I put this on my mother. Rest her soul. I was the only person that said, and this was before you guys started rocking with me, right? The new guys. I was the only one that said, out of Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen, the first person that will win the Super Bowl that I could see winning the Super Bowl is Sam Darnold. I had said it on a live a while ago, and I also have to dig up my tweets. I will post it for you guys. I said, out of all of them, I can see Sam Darnold win, and this is when he was with the Jets. And of course, I was told I was crazy, because when people have these conversations, they always think about the team that's doing good. They always talk about the teams that's doing good all the time. When you look at a certain person's image, to keep it 100 with you, because I look at image when it comes to quarterbacks. I really do. I pay attention to image when it comes to a quarterback. I studied Sam Darnold. Well, he played for the Jets here in New York, right? New York Jets. So obviously got to see him, right? I paid attention to his image, right? For real. All jokes aside. I said, I can see Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl before all of them, but not on the Jets. Not on the Jets. This boy is going to go somewhere else, and he's going to win a Super Bowl. I've always kept an eye on Sam Darnold. I always have. Every team he went to, I've always paid attention to him. Especially last year, definitely woke it up for me, right? Pause. Damn, I said woke it up for me. That's crazy. But pause. You guys know what I mean. That's why last year, what did I say? Yeah, I can't post it up now. Y'all remember that tweet I posted last year, on January 6th, I think January 5th, 6th, against the when he lost to the Lions, right? What did I say? What did I say? Number 14, Sam Darnold, because I was talking about 14 last year. I said number 14, Sam Darnold, right? We'll do it again, right? Next year with another team. Sure enough, look what just happened. He did it again. And not only that, he actually won a Super Bowl. I've always looked at Sam Darnold. Here's the thing about me. I always pay attention to the quarterbacks nobody likes to talk about. Maybe that came from what happened with Tom Brady. Me being a Patriots fan and seeing that Tom Brady was 199 overall, right? So he goes to 199, right? And then he ends up, quote unquote, the GOAT. You always notice the quarterbacks who are the most popular, they may win a Super Bowl here and there, but they don't really be having a big success, because there's a difference between how we treat you in a season and how we treat you when it comes to lifting up that trophy. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't know how to separate the two. Regular season and lifting up a trophy is two different things, especially in football. When it comes to football, it's two different things. Two different things. Lifting up that trophy and doing good. Buffalo Bills. Since Tom Brady left, and that's crazy how everything all connects. Since Tom Brady left, because remember, it was all planned out for Tom Brady to leave. Tom Brady had to leave anyway because they was pushing the Buffalo Bills. And why was they pushing the Buffalo Bills? Ready? They was getting a fucking new stadium. And usually what happens when a team gets a new stadium, they start to build them up a couple of years prior to they open up that stadium. This is not my opinion. You guys in the fucking chat, you guys are smart. I don't have to tell any of you guys that. Even the ones that's watching that don't realize that, really think about that for a second. Before these stadiums open, before these arenas open, we have to give it a couple of years to build that team up. Now, does that success happen for every team? No, that's fucking impossible. Right? But for the guys that have a certain player, you guys already know that what's going to happen. Even if they don't win the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl, even if they don't win it, we have to build you up, because that's how we get more money, though. We can't just fucking build up a team and we're not promoting them. We have a new arena for this team and they're a bottom feeding team. We have to promote them. They have to do a full 360 damn near in order to get more money to justify that new stadium. You guys get what I'm saying? Like really think about that. Like for those that, like, you guys get it in the chat. You guys get in the chat. That's usually how it happens. We have to have some type of a story. Tom Brady had to leave the Patriots, but what did they do? They made up a fake story how Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, things is falling apart. Robert Kraft doesn't want to re-sign, Tom Brady. He, for the most part, doesn't care if he goes, right? What's Tom Brady's decision going to be? We all know. Remember, Tom Brady's last throw as a New England Patriot was an interception against the Tennessee Titans. Mike Vrabel's team, right? Tom Brady's last fucking throw. Boom, interception. Is Tom Brady coming back next season? What's the talks? Is he retiring? Is Tom Brady? What's going to happen with Tom Brady? Y'all remember that? That was the 2019 season. That was the season that who won? That was the season that your man Patrick Mahomes won, right? But anyway, you saw how, now think about that, right? Soon as that happened, soon as he left, remember, they was building up Josh Allen. Josh Allen came in the 2018 season, right? 2018 season, Tom Brady had the best of him in the Bills. The 2019 season, which was Tom Brady's last season, he had the best of Josh Allen in the Bills. But that's what happened when 2020 came. Now all of a sudden the Bills just fucking out the blue become so good. 2026 season that's coming up in September, the Bills open up their new stadium. Think about that, y'all. They open up their new stadium. So it had to be what? 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 6 seasons, right? To boost up the Bills because they getting a new stadium, y'all. Sorry, I had to burp. You guys get what I'm saying? That's what it's about. The Bills was a prop up, and this is why I'm telling you guys, be careful about thinking that the Bills is just going to win a Super Bowl. You got to be careful with that. I understand how you feel, but just be careful, because it wasn't really about them winning a Super Bowl. It's more about they was having a new stadium. And then not only that, I live in New York, right? The state as a whole, that's expensive, right? And what I mean by that is, like, to build a new stadium there, it's expensive. So you have to boost them up very well. Like, yo, this is going to take a lot of money to build a stadium in New York State, a new stadium. We have to boost them up. That's the reason why the Bills have been good since Tom Brady left. Tom Brady, let's get him out of here. The reason why we have to get him out of here is why? Josh Allen has to be the face of that division. This is why I always tell people, whenever you are the face of a league or even a division or even a conference, they usually have to get somebody out of there. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Tom Brady could not stay in the AFC. Makes no sense. Our new guy is about, we are building up Patrick Mahomes. or he already is built up, right? Because Tom Brady was still in the league when Patrick Mahomes was winning Super Bowls, right? But like, this is our guy, at least for the time being. Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady, you're almost on your way out, right? We can't have you with Patrick Mahomes in the competing for who's going to make the Super Bowl. That makes no sense. He's our new guy. Tom Brady, we have to get rid of you. Let's ship him over to the NFC. Right? Now, we ain't done with you yet, Tom Brady, because we're going to make sure you get 7. And we are going to ship you to the exact team that's going to have a Super Bowl, that's going to be hosting the Super Bowl. Tampa. Tampa's hosting the Super Bowl in the 2020 season. Right? COVID's going. COVID is happening. Remember, they already have the next 3-4 Super Bowls already set. So Tom Brady, Tampa was already in plain sight, y'all. It was already planned. Let's have Tom Brady go to Tampa. We're not going to have him go to the Rams, right? Because the Rams was the following year. Let's have Tom Brady go to Tampa. We have to shift him away from the AFC because Patrick Mahomes is the guy of that conference, of the league, actually, but especially that conference. So we got to have Patrick Mahomes go to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, we're not done with you yet, though. We're going to have you go to the Super Bowl around COVID year, around the time that, you guys is hosting the Super Bowl in Tampa. Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady. Boom. You guys got to fucking think, man. This shit is all planned out. Do I think Josh Allen will go to another team and win a Super Bowl? I'll tell you this. I don't let me say this. As of right now, today is the 9th, right? February 9th, 2026. As of right now, I'm going to say yes. Go to another team and win a Super Bowl because of the whole situation with the Buffalo Bills as an organization. Right? The Buffalo Bills as an organization. This is bigger than Josh Allen. Those 4 failures that Buffalo Bills had, that was before Josh Allen. Josh Allen is just the one being punished for it, which was crazy because he wasn't even playing at that time. You ever notice that? When we criticize Josh Allen, we act as if he was the one that was in 4 Super Bowls and lost. But it's actually the whole Bills as an organization. That's why I tell people, it's not about Josh Allen, it's about the Bills. Is it in the script for him to win a Super Bowl with the Bills? Right? Is it? Or does he got to go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl? So to answer your question, to me, I could see it being somewhere else. If anything. Could I see a storyline of the... Okay, so are we going to see 2 guys of the same draft class win the Super Bowl back-to-back? Donald and Josh Allen? That's what I'm asking. I'm asking the chat. I'm asking you guys about the Bills. Are the Bills winning this year? Some of you guys believe so. Well, not this year, next season. A lot of you guys believe so. Like I said, I just broke it down with the whole the whole SoFi shit. But don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm gonna tell you why. We know it. It's gonna go out to the public about Josh Allen and SoFi. For those that don't know, it's gonna go out. It's gonna go out. The NFL is gonna find out that the regular Joe Schmo people know about this. So how does it affect the future bets? Bills can go and lose. Bills is cooked, right? That's why I don't see too many. What you said? Winning besides Mahomes, just like when Brady was in the league, only Manning really won. That's what I'm saying. The face. Good point. Next time the Bears go to the Super Bowl, they are winning it. I'm not disagreeing with you, Donald. Let me put that there. I don't want you to think I'm disagreeing with you. I like that, Donald. That's we. There's more to that though. And you know what? When I get back home, I think we have to tap in and have that conversation on the live for certain things I want to show you guys. I actually like that. I got some shit to say about that too. Not saying I disagree with you, but there's one script that might be in his way. One script that might be in his way. Oh, Caleb Williams, that is. And it won't even be because of him. He got scripted to retire. That's what Deep said. You talking about Tom Brady, right? The Bills can go and lose. Roethlisberger won too. Yeah. But you know what? Roethlisberger was part of Pittsburgh, already established team. You know what I'm saying? They already have 4 under their belt. I can see Allen going to the NFC and face Mahomes in the Super Bowl. The NFC will go crazy. I actually like that. Y'all heard what right? I like that. I actually like that. And you know, so did we have that conversation before, y'all? That'd be crazy. Didn't we tap on that? If bring Josh out, you know what, Justin? Make sure you subscribe to me. My live, I'm gonna go find where that was said and post that. That would be crazy if you have Josh Allen face Patrick Mahomes, and I think I brought that shit up. I like that you said that, and have them face each other in the Super Bowl. It's more about Ben Johnson. There you go, Donald. You know where I'm getting at. You know where I'm getting at with that one. Do I got the Packers coming up this year? I was waiting for that answer. I was waiting for that question. Do I got the Packers this year? Now, for those that don't know, back in 2023, I believe, 2023, I said that I could see the Packers in either 59, 60, or 61. That's Super Bowl, that is. Super Bowl 59, obviously they didn't go. Super Bowl 60, obviously they didn't go. So now we reach Super Bowl 61. I said that. It's on record. It's on record. That's a good question. And I'll tell you this much. I got some futures that I'm going to put you guys on to that I think will go very well with the Packers. They're futures, though, right? They're futures. So I know sometimes you guys like to get paid fast, whatever, but if you invest it little by little throughout the whole season, it will pay off in the end. You know what I'm saying? It will pay off in the end. What's good, Rick? It will pay off in the end. Packers, that is, right? I needed the futures to be alive already. Like, I know they have Super Bowl. Whoever's going to win the Super Bowl, they got that already. But you know, if who's going to win the first round, you know, the second round, like how far they're going to go. I got some shit that I think you guys really need to get into. I'm going to put it out there, but the reason why I can't do it is because it's not out yet. As far as the Packers. Can I see the Packers in the Super Bowl this year? Yes, I can see it. I can see it. Now, you already know what I wanted to see this year, which would have been fun, right? Was the Steelers versus the Packers. That would have been a fun, as far as like a matchup. Because, you know, besides the Seahawks, you know, when I said about the Seahawks and Rams and shit, but if you ask me about a particular matchup, I only called 2 matchups this year. One of them actually was correct. One of them was wrong. As far as a matchup, a pair. I wanted to see Steelers versus Packers as far as a matchup. Obviously, that didn't happen. We're going to get to that in a second, though, right? That's what I wanted to see. But a matchup that I called that only made sense, a pair, was Seahawks versus the Patriots. For those that don't know, there is a live. I spoke about that, right? Anybody in the chat, did you guys go watch that clip that I posted up? Just so no one thinks that I'm jumping on a bandwagon about Seahawks and Patriots. And I didn't even realize myself that I called that. It's there. Remember when we was making fun of Russell Wilson throwing it and getting an interception? Y'all remember that live, right? That was a funny ass live we had, right? Y'all remember that, right? I brought up Seahawks and Patriots. Didn't realize that. Yes, talking about Brady. I think that was the other live. But deep, yes. It was November 12th. And that's how I think we live in a crazy ass world, because I happened to do that live on November 12th. AKA what? The 12th. I happened to do that live on November 12th, talking about Patriots and Seahawks. You guys can go find it. It's on my YouTube. November 12th. I think the 1 minute and 49 seconds, 1 hour and 49 minutes or some shit like that. I think that's where it begins. But I posted a clip. It's there. Yeah, they posted the Super Bowl 61 logo. I think a team that don't have those colors are going. You're gonna see a lot of Buffalo Bills predictions because of the way the colors look. Because we all know red and blue, you mix that up, you get purple. Right? Seahawks and Steelers. We can see Steelers versus the Packers this year. What if I'm a year early? That would be mad funny. Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers versus the Green Bay Packers. Or would that be too obvious? For us, we could see that, but I think to the masses, they'll look at that like, come on, bro. Like, that's super suspect. And that's why, hey, a lot of people starting to wake up, so it's kind of hard for them to do some shit like that, but I would like to see something like that. Yes, good fucking point, Jungle. Yes, next year, Super Bowl is on Valentine's Day, people. 2/14. I find it funny that the NFL chose to do the Super Bowl that date. Well, that's how things align itself, right? Duh. But the NFL, that's how they do their schedule, though. I can't even say nothing. But the NFL could have. Y'all see where I'm going, right? I'm trying to make sense for the NFL on this one, but it does land on Valentine's Day. Yes, Super Bowl 2027, right? Lands on Valentine's Day, 2/14. And yes, like I said, 59, 60, 61 is where I saw the Packers playing. It would be funny if Jordan Love does play on Super Bowl 61. It's funny if we see, and you want to know what's so crazy too? Pay attention to the score of not the score. Yeah, what was the score difference in yesterday's game? 29-13, right? Seahawks win by what? They win by 16. They win by 16. Flip that joint around and what you get? 61. Get your popcorn, people. It's about to get very, very interesting. What do I always say? A lot of Super Bowls have a lot to do with each other, right? It has a lot to do with each other. They won by 16. Seattle won by 16. Seattle won by 16. Super Bowl 61 is next year. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm telling you. Now, are we going to see the Seahawks? If the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl next year, there's no chance they're winning. I'm telling you that now, somebody that was right about the Seahawks this whole season. Right? They're not going back to back. I don't see it. I don't see that. I don't see it. I don't see it. Well, we're gonna see Seahawks versus the Bills. It'll be mad funny. I'm saying that and it actually does happen. Seahawks and the Bills, right? Sam Darnold versus Josh Allen. Now they are good friends. They do golf together, right? Is that a possibility? Right? Besides Steelers and Packers, right? Besides that, are we gonna see Bills versus the Seahawks? Sam Darnold versus Josh Allen. Two good friends off of the field. That's not a secret. They are good friends. They always have been. That's not a secret, right? Seahawks going back to back, right? I mean, that would be the argument, you know. Can they go back to back? Or does Josh Allen finally get a ring? You know, such and such. You guys know that. He beats his friend to get the ring. You guys know that. I'm telling you, all the storylines is adding up. It's adding up. Right? Bills versus Packers. Now, if we see Bills versus Packers, I don't want to see that matchup, to be honest with you. It could be a good matchup. I'm not against it, but I don't want to see that matchup. Nah, I don't want to see that matchup. Wait, check gematria, bro. I went through it to know Seahawks would win Super Bowl 60. Well, here's the thing about the whole gematria thing. I didn't even need gematria to know that the Seahawks was going to go this far. For those that been rocking with me, they already know. Go to my videos, my old videos. I was talking about the Seahawks before everybody was talking about the Seahawks. Absolutely nobody was on the Seahawks. Nobody was on the Seahawks. None. I was getting laughed at for talking about the Seahawks. I didn't need gematria for that. I already knew what it was. First off, I said whatever team Sam Darnold goes to, I said this last year, whatever team he goes to, there's a chance that they will go to the Super Bowl. I'm on record. Said that last year. I kept tweeting about it. But my first initial tweet, I posted about it. And then when the season started, I told people, pay attention to the Seahawks. I even gave you guys a clue when I posted Sean Alexander, the former retired Seahawk. What did he say? Number 14 is in a what? Number 14 is in the belly. I'm going to play that video again when I get home. I'm going to always play that video because nobody paid that any attention. Number 14 is in the belly. Sure enough, what happens? Seahawks win the fucking Super Bowl. The halftime show was garbage. It was garbage. It was garbage. When it was the halftime show, I went down to the craps table and I was playing craps. I'm not sitting there. No, and I'm watching it through one of the TV screens, right? Before I went back, before the game started back again. It was trash. I'm not going to say it just because, there's a lot of people that, I guess because, his heritage, race, or whatever. It's not about none of that with me. It was just trash. It was trash. First off, a lot of Super Bowl performances be trash to me because you can't really do what you want to do. Everybody's looking at you. You better go out there and perform. Don't do no stupid shit. And I don't like that. When it's controlled like that, I don't like it. No, I'm reading the comments, y'all. Yeah, all the halftime shows was horrible. It was fucking horrible, right? Do I have an idea of who's gonna go to the Super Bowl this or next year upcoming? I actually do, but I still have to put all my paperwork together. That's what I call it. and then you'll start to hear me like talk about it and present it to you guys. Only because you still have to worry about draft. The draft still matters. Not saying that, oh, whoever drafts the number one overall is going to go to the Super Bowl. No, I'm not saying that at all. But you still have to pay attention to how they work around the draft, because, like I always told you guys, they start to prop up a team years in advance, right? Oh, somebody asked me, do I think the Bears, if the Bears are going to win a Super Bowl, they're going to make noise. They're going to make noise because they're getting a new stadium soon too. Like I always say, they start to build up a certain team years in advance, right? Whether they win the Super Bowl or not, whether they win the NBA Finals or not, whether they win a World Series or not, whenever a new stadium is coming, they're going to prop them up. That's just how it goes. And any early MVP picks? No. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. No. Well, not right now as I'm having this conversation, right? Not as of right now when I'm speaking to you. No. No. I don't just want to say anyone just to say it, but I have to get more news. Because we're talking about MVP of the season, right? Oh, that's what I meant to tell you guys. We will be doing a show. We will be doing a live show where I'm going to tell this damn audience that don't understand how shit goes. The NFL is aware that we know, not even just the red community, but a lot of people who do think it's real are starting to understand that MVPs don't win the Super Bowl. Yes, Patrick Mahomes was the last one to do it. And prior to Patrick Mahomes was who? Kurt Warner, right? So on average, it doesn't happen. It's very rare, right? The NFL knows that besides the red community, that the people that believe sports is real, that they know that, guys. They know that. Now, what do I mean by all this? I say that to say, do not be surprised. Not every year. This is not going to happen every year. But you will start to see a pattern where the MVP won't even play in a Super Bowl. Because remember, it used to be you would see the MVP play in a Super Bowl and not win, right? That was what, right? But you're going to start to see motherfuckers who get the MVP and they don't even play in the Super Bowl at all. You're going to start to see that a whole lot, though, is what I'm saying. Because people's catching on to the part where whoever gets the MVP, they play in the Super Bowl and they lose. So it's easy to fade them. So what the NFL is going to start doing is, the MVP, whoever won the MVP won't even play in the Super Bowl at all, bro. You're going to start to see that even more. Being that now is public. That's what I mean. Being that it's public, Matthew Stafford ain't playing the Super Bowl. Yeah, he played in the conference championship, but he ain't playing no Super Bowl. Whether he had won it or lost the Super Bowl, you ain't going to the Super Bowl at all, right? And you notice NFL, they've been doing that lately though. When Lamar got a Super Bowl, he got an MVP. Obviously, he got what? He got the 2 MVPs, right? Lamar or some shit like that. He ain't even playing no Super Bowl. Josh Allen, he won the MVP. He ain't even playing no Super Bowl. You're going to start to see that pattern. But a couple years ago, usually the MVP will play in the Super Bowl, whether win or lose. More than likely he lost. But now that people know this, the NFL is not letting MVPs play in the Super Bowl. And if the MVP is a good job, he ain't making the trophy. Yeah, pretty much. It's like a trade-off. That's a good point. That's like a trade-off. The MVP is a good job. You ain't making it. Winning the MVP is basically a quarterback's Super Bowl. Absolutely. You notice that, right, Ricky? Right? It's a I just want you guys to like just see is. But I mean, we have points like this is nothing new, but just notice how now that people know these things, they're not letting you. We start to see some trend where a lot of MVPs don't even play in a Super Bowl. Lamar, Josh Allen, you know what I'm saying? This Super Bowl right here, Drake May was a runner-up, but he didn't win. He played in the Super Bowl. His opponent wasn't the MVP. That was Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold played, not Matthew Stafford. So MVPs, they not even letting MVPs play in the Super Bowl because people are starting to catch on to MVPs losing in the Super Bowl. So get ready for that too. So once again, see, this is the knowledge. For anybody that's watching, make sure you put that in your notes. And I'm saying that now, February 9th, 2025. Make sure you put in your notes that Bfyre said the NFL. I'm not going to say I'm not saying that this is going to happen next year, right? I'm not saying that, but for the most part, you're going to start to see a trend where MVPs don't even play in the Super Bowl because the NFL now knows that we know that players who are the MVP usually lose in the Super Bowl. So in order to fix that, NFL that is, in order to fix that, you don't allow the MVP to play in the Super Bowl. Now next year we might see that, right? Who knows? But we're gonna do a whole live talking about that though. Like we're gonna go in depth. We're gonna talk about every single year. I think all of you guys in the chat will enjoy that live. We're gonna go year by year. Right? But now this is public. NFL no, because NFL, let's keep it 100. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. They can be fake, but they're not dumb. They catch on. They know what's going on. So let's fix that. None of y'all's gonna play in the Super Bowl. Now who you gonna choose? Can you expose who will win the NBA Finals this season? Oh, well, NBA talk. I can't wait for NBA talk. I cannot wait. We definitely talking about NBA. We definitely talking about the NBA. Last year was when I spoke about Indiana in the number 4, and they going to lose, right? NBA, especially when the playoffs start, that's gonna get interesting. So yes, we are going to talk about the NBA of what's going to happen this year. Absolutely. NFL gets people out there. NFL people got people out there, maybe even on your channel. I do believe that there's people on my channel. See, you. Here's the thing about this, y'all. You guys realize, right? My channel is actually growing. I've had a YouTube channel for years, but it's what I do production-wise and, music videos and all that other shit. I never really used it for going live and doing the whole rig shit, right? I just actually started voicing as far as me going live, like, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago, right? Doing this. But because I was always active on Twitter doing the whole rigging. That's where it's like certain people did hear me through there. I was big on Twitter for everything I be talking to you guys about. I would do it on Twitter. Heavy. My shit got banned, bro. My Twitter, Bfyre 1 Twitter, they cut that shit off. Right? I got Bfyre 31 now, but now I'm live, more. This is this is nothing new, This is nothing new under the sun, right? I say all that to say I may not have the 20, 30, 40, 50,000. You guys don't want me to have that because just imagine, listen, if people's listening to me now and I make sure my subscribers grow organically, I don't do no fake nothing, right? And I'm not doing none of that, right? So it is growing, right? They don't want my shit to have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100,000 subscribers. They don't want that. They don't want that. NFL doesn't. Sports in general don't want that. They don't want that shit. They don't want that. They're not going to like it. It's going to be dangerous. Dangerous. Watch when it gets there though. Right? I do think that there's somebody, a couple of people watching, taking certain notes and saying, especially to these other big podcasts, I think they saying shit. Certain shit I say, yeah, but they can't say it 1000%, so they'll twist it just a little bit. But certain talking points I talk about, like I said, I spoke about a lot of things that nobody really like to touch on. Seriously, I was like, I had no filter with the things I say. No, shout out to you, Rick. You know, who I have making it next year. When I get back home, we're gonna have that conversation. We're gonna have that full conversation. Yep. So yeah, think about it like with music, y'all. Whatever music you guys listen to, it could be rock, it could be rap, hip hop, whatever. A smaller guy has a fire ass record, right? Somebody bigger takes that, okay, redo it, revamp it, steals the song, and guess what? They get all the credit. But they taking it from somebody that's not known. That's exactly what that is. You don't think people's listening to me? And when I say people, I'm talking about the big guys. Somebody's listening and bringing, and of course they are. I'm talking, but they can't go all the way with it because I'm talking about things that they wouldn't ever touch on. They wouldn't touch on the certain things that I talk about. They not talking about none. Nah, we can't talk about that. That's exposing too much. But you know me, I'm doing that shit. I'm doing it. I'm doing what the World Cup is a fucking show. Soccer, first off, fuck football. Listen. Soccer is so bad, it makes the NFL look real. Soccer's horrible. Soccer is horrible. It's horrible. And you got to understand, soccer is bigger than American football. Right? You got to realize with soccer, it's all types of people. Everyone here that's watching, I'm pretty sure some of you guys come from different ethnic backgrounds. You know, y'all people take it serious. Our people take it serious, bro. Right? Because it's one person listen, if it's a team from Brazil, them Brazilians take that shit serious. It could be a team from China, Spanish team. It could be Puerto Rico, that's still part of America. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like Portugal, and then you got this team. They take that shit serious. So being that everybody's like this when it comes to that shit, it's easier to rig. Soccer's one of the worst. You can't enjoy that shit, bro. I can't enjoy it. I know the game, but I can't, because you want to know why? I'm like, yo, we about to get rigged, bro. They're about to rig your ass, and you about to be very upset. They got something planned for you. Like, I can't watch soccer and enjoy it, bro. You just know them niggas is actors like crazy. They actors. But I think the number one, I'm not gonna say boxing. I think boxing is one of the ultimate, of course. One-on-one competition to me is the biggest rig in sports. We will have that conversation. One-on-one sports, boxing, UFC, and you know I'm a UFC guy, right? I love UFC, right? Boxing, UFC, tennis. Tennis, you got a better chance of hitting the lottery 3 times before you think that shit real. Before you... tennis, we're not even gonna go there. The Realest Rig channel, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Yo, shout out to all y'all, man. Like here's the thing. I don't want to push rig shit on anybody. You know, I just want people to wake up. So when you do watch, you understand what you're looking at. You don't want to be bamboozled. Because once again, y'all see it right here. I'm going to put the red one on the website too. Right now we have the black one. We got the black one on the website. You got, for those that do know, but I'm putting the red one up too because a couple of people actually inquired about it, right? I just want you guys to learn and understand what you're getting into. I'm sitting here talking all this race shit, but I watch, but I look at it different. Once again, like I said about 2 hours ago when I started the live, I said yesterday's game was great for me. I like when the game is like that. I don't want it to be exciting. If I'm betting one way, right, I'm on the Seahawks, and I also had the under. I don't want no good game. Well, quote unquote good game. To me, that's a good game because it's falling in line the way I need it. You understand what I'm saying, chat? I'll fix that in a second. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's working for me, so I don't want an interesting game. Well, depending on what you call interesting. To me, I loved every bit of the game. That's what I needed. All those punts from the Patriots, that's what I needed. I needed that. The Seahawks with the field goals in the beginning, that's what I needed. When it was 3-zip, right, in the first quarter, that's what I needed. Those are the things that I needed. So to me, it was a good game. But I understand why some people say, oh, I didn't like the game. I like the game. Just like even with sports being rigged, my favorite boxer is Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people say his fights is boring. Right? The way they have it organized, the way they have it planned, the way they have it rigged, however, whatever you want to call it, I like it because if I'm rooting for him, like, got money on Floyd, why the fuck would I want anybody else to hit him? I don't want no one else to hit him. I don't want no big slugfest. Why would I want that? If I'm going the other way, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm saying all that to say I see sports differently when I watch it. I can understand why you guys say, oh, it was boring. You guys want to see that Rams versus Chiefs 2018 type shit. That's what you guys want to see, which is, I understand that. So black fighters are not the best fighters in real life. Oh, no, I can't say that. To be honest, we don't know. We don't know because we know black fighters. Well, in UFC, you're talking about, right? Because John Bone Jones is known as the GOAT in UFC, and he's black, right? But as far as boxing, no, you know what it is? It's about who can sell. Boxing, as you know, it's about who can sell. So think about all the races. Who can sell the most in boxing? Think about it. That's the reason why they have like black fighters be excited in boxing, because they're going to sell. Think about Floyd Mayweather know how to sell a fight like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? For those who's Mexican or Latino, anybody in the chat, as you know, they have their certain ways where they can make a fight exciting as well. Even if you don't know English, like Canelo sold, no matter what you think about his fights, he sold. His skills don't match his voice. That's what makes him interesting, right? Canelo, the way he speaks, like that little tone voice, right, doesn't match on how they have him look so great in boxing. That right there is a good selling point as by itself. That's interesting for certain people. You know what I'm saying? It makes you want to watch him, right? So black fighters, nobody knows how to sell a fight like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Every sport is just like there's a lot of people that don't know how to, not for nothing, especially when it comes to hockey, there's not a lot of races that know how to do it like whites, to keep it 100. I'm keep it real. Like for those, and listen, I'll be around some hockey dudes, right? As far as that game of hockey, it maybe I'm gonna say it don't fit seeing other races in there, but like it's more interesting with whites. Because they know how to sell. They know how to sell hockey very well. See what I'm saying? They know how to sell. That's their strong point. They know how, even when they fight. You know what I mean? Shout out to Terrence Crawford. And you know what's so crazy? Terrence Crawford just started to learn to get into his his whole promoting shit. Because he wasn't like that at first. Ever since he beat Errol Spence, then you started to see a different Canelo. Not Canelo, Terrence Crawford. And He learned that a little bit from Floyd Mayweather. Nobody can sell a fight like Floyd, bro. Conor McDavid, nice as a play. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just is what it just is what it is, bro. You think about hockey, you ain't fucking with those white boys, bro. It is, but I'm telling you, it is what it is. They know how to sell. They know how to sell it better. Like when I'm watching them games, the way they fight and all that, their expressions and all that, that's what they do. Now, baseball, I have my reservations about baseball. I have. To me, I don't think baseball has found itself yet. Even though they would call that the most popular sport in America, because them contracts be super big, right? But I don't think they found themselves. But that's another lie for another day. Yeah, Crawford's very quiet, so when you see him act out of pocket, it's interesting. It's like, oh shit, okay, let me see what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not really that type of guy. He's just really starting to tap into that, even though he's retired. You're going to start to see Crawford do a Mayweather, right? He's not boxing, but he's still going to be in the front scenes. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be doing promoting and all that. I'm telling you, because Shakur Stevenson is his guy. You can call that his quote unquote understudy, right? Same thing with when Tank Davis and what was that? Tank Davis and Floyd, right? It's going to be the same thing with Stevenson and Crawford. But I'm telling you, being that Stevenson has work to do as far as selling a fight, because, you know, he's known to be boring, right? Crawford, his fights was kind of boring, but he was undefeated, right? Let me tell you how they have to make it exciting. Let me say, we are in the 2 hour and 32 minutes mark, right? February 9th, 2026, right? Let me tell you what has to happen, right? And I want you guys to come back to this live if it ever happens. If you want to make things exciting for Shakur Stevenson, make up a fake beef with Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson, his understudy. That's how you sell Shakur Stevenson. Not yet, but because now Shakur Stevenson's in 140 now, right? In order for him to be top of the cream in 140, what you do is make up a fake beef with Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson, aka Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather. Watch Stevenson's stock go up like a motherfucker. Remember where y'all heard that first. Remember where y'all heard that first. That's right, Deep. They all characters. It's a role. It don't work that way. It can't work that way. Let me tell you something. If everything was real, y'all, there'll be no order, right? Remember, there has to be a pattern of things. All you guys in the chat, all you guys watching, and me, let's say, for instance, we all was in a fucking league together or some shit like that, and it was real, may the best man win. How could you promote us? If I'm winning and then Midnight the Cypher's winning, and then Hay is winning, then Deep is winning, Lobo's winning, and then this person's winning, and this person's winning. How do you promote that if there's always a different winner all the time? You know what I'm saying? You have to have a character. You have to have that guy that's always there but loses. You got to have that guy that's winning a lot. You got to have the one that's next up. You have to build storylines, which would be fake storylines, but that's how you do it. Same thing with celebrities, the ones that's winning all the awards at the Oscars and shit. This person has the most awards at the Oscars. Musicians, the ones that's selling the most albums and the most streams. Streams is fake. It has to be in order. That way you promote it well, because if there's a new winner or a new main person every single month, how do you actually make money off of it? It's too unpredictable. You know? No such thing as weight class in real life. I totally fucking agree with that. I don't get me started on that one. Don't get me started on that one. Of course, I've never believed in weight class. I'm sorry. That's just me. I understand it, but then again, I don't. I don't. Somebody that's Mike Tyson's weight should be fighting somebody that's Floyd Mayweather's weight. I don't care what no one say. That's how we get to know who's the best. I'm not saying them two, like it has to be them two, but as far as weight, yeah. I mean, you heard of David and Goliath, right? But anyway, yeah, structure. You too big for me to fight. That's what I'm saying. In the real world, if one of us is fighting, it ain't really gonna be that. It's like we got to do this. So the whole weight class, once again, is something what Hay just said. Structure. That's how we structure it. That's how we make the league. This is how we say who's the champion, who has the right to, like to me, an undisputed champion when it comes to, because they usually use undisputed in boxing on UFC, right? To me, an undisputed champion, in order to call yourself an undisputed champion, you have to be able to beat anybody in any weight class. So they should have a belt that's the undisputed belt, but you have to be willing to beat somebody in every weight class in order to call yourself the undisputed, because that's saying that I'm the undisputed out of everybody. But we know that we're never going to see that realistically. So we can just get it out of our heads. 1 second, y'all. How you doing?
Good morning.
You know?
What time is...
I got a late checkout to 3.
3?
Yeah, I called already. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem. My fault, y'all. Yeah. So like I was saying, that's the undisputed champion. You should be able to beat everybody in every weight class. To me, that's just me, but it's wishful thinking. So anyone that's listening saying, "Oh my God, shut the fuck up," I understand. You could tell. You could say that. You have the right to. But wishful thinking. Undisputed championship means I could beat everybody in every weight class. I know seeing a light heavyweight, a super light versus a heavyweight. Because, heavyweight's really no weight, right? Once you hit a certain weight, it doesn't matter how big you can get. But, I mean, I don't even want to get into all that. Am I talking about pound for pound? Well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm just talking about in general. In order to be called the undisputed, I think in boxing it needs to be one belt. That's actually an undisputed, because that's telling me that I can beat everybody. But the whole pound for pound thing, that kind of makes sense. Like, I guess it restarted. Yeah, who's the number one pound for pound? So I get what you're saying when you ask that question. I get what you're saying, Buff. But I'm just letting you guys know. I know you may not have to agree, but I'm just letting you know, right? So, this was a fucking great live. I don't know if I'm hungry. I think I need to eat some breakfast. I've been eating a lot, right? I'm leaving Vegas today. Tonight. What's today? Today's Monday, right? Wednesday is when we can go back to our regular live. So anyone that is watching, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because we do this on a regular, right? I'll be back home to all my shit, right? And we will continue the topics that we spoke about in more depth. We will get on certain futures of, what next year can look like. But hold on. March Madness, baby. Anybody that wants to know what's my favorite, March fucking Madness. What's that? Damn, shout out to all y'all, man. For real. March Madness. If anybody wants to know what's my favorite, March Madness. I would like to see if I can get down here to Vegas for March Madness. But not the first. Damn. I gotta look and see if I can get down here for March Madness. Well, I'm not looking to see if I can. March Madness, baby. March fucking Madness is what I'm waiting for. Super Bowl's only a one-day thing. March Madness is my actual real thing. That's when I'm locked in. There's money to be fucking made, a lot of money to be made in March Madness. That's where I feel like a kid in a candy store, because there's so much to pick from. But I do my studying. That's what I can't wait for. But if I'm going to Vegas, if I come back here to Vegas for March Madness, but as far as like conference tournaments, right? I like to go to Atlantic City because the MAAC, they actually have a nice conference tournament that I find to be interesting. They usually hold it out there in Atlantic City. I go out there, right? And if I don't, obviously, you got the Barclays Center in New York City and also Madison Square Garden, right? The Big Ten and who has the Barclays? What fucking conference has the Barclays? But anyway, so it's a lot. March Madness, especially in New York, and then it's gonna be. I can't wait. And also the conference, March Madness, baby. March Madness. I see you guys. I see you guys talking about who you think. No, don't do it yet. Don't spoil that shit now, y'all. Don't spoil it. I don't want y'all spoiling now. We're gonna have a live about that. Don't get too excited, y'all, because I see it. Cause don't get me started. Cause I got it in the live, and y'all know I could keep going for 2 more hours. Y'all know that. Y'all see the excitement. Don't spoil that shit. I don't want to hear no. I don't want to hear nothing y'all talking about. No, I don't care to see it. I don't want to see it. We gotta say that for the next live. March Madness, bro. March fucking Madness. But I have 2 teams. 2 teams that you guys may want to pay attention to. Nah. You know what? All my guys in the chat, everybody that was watching, I already see some people already bounced, but all my guys in the chat, shout out to every single one of y'all. You've been great. I've been reading all y'all comments too. I've been seeing the comments as I was looking at the screen. I was cooking. You know what I'm saying? Is high school football real? I'll tell you this much. Let me tell you this much before I go. There is undercover betting going on in high school football. Just know that. You want to know why? Because a lot of these guys is high prospects for college. So you have to make these guys look good. For instance, Arch Manning. Before Arch Manning came to Texas and he was in high school, you have to make him look good. You know what I'm saying? For Texas, and then to go to the NFL and, shit like that. So, no, it's not. It's just no betting lines for it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of illegal recruiting going on. So you guys don't even fucking get me started, y'all. Shout out to every single one of y'all. I'll be on the post section. Hit me up, Twitter, whatever it is. Will I be live tonight? No. I'm gonna be on a plane tonight. I got a red eye. Right now in Vegas. What time is it in Vegas? It's 11:36. So what is it? It's 2:36 Eastern time. I don't know where all you guys is at. But no, I can't be live. I'm gonna be on a red eye. I'm gonna probably be sleeping, some shit like that. So that's why I want to go live on Wednesday. Right? Any information does come out before I leave here in Vegas tonight. Of course, I'll put it on the post section and things like that. But yeah, I can't wait for March Madness. I hear the excitement. Don't get me started with that shit. But yeah, 2 teams I do want to put out there for you guys. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. NBA season is here for those that's into that. March Madness, that's coming up soon, obviously, because we're already in February. So the draft is later on in April. But you're going to hear a whole bunch of NFL news until then. The futures, well, of course, we're going to do a live talking about the futures. If you had to make your early predictions before the draft, who you guys like, just off of what you saw this past season, do you think they'll continue? You know what I'm saying? So, I cleaned up. I don't. Let me say this. I'm not one that just likes to show shit. I don't like doing that. I don't like to just show shit. Show money and shit like that. I don't like doing that, but I had a great one. All right, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this was a good one. I got here Wednesday, right? Got here Wednesday, and today's Monday, so the party is over. Man, been here for a while. I have fun. As a Patriots fan, the Patriots offense was embarrassing, and the Super Bowl they didn't even show up. It caught up to them. They kept talking about how easy it was for the Patriots to go, right? Now look, it caught up to them. The Patriots laid down. That's how it goes. Drake May, you're not going to see him in this position no time soon, bro. Sad to say, you're not going to see him in this position no time soon. No time soon. No time soon. Mike Vrabel doesn't even need to have a Super Bowl. Just going back to that team is good enough. He's already a Patriots legend. He won Super Bowls as a Patriot. Now he's there as a coach. They're not going to let him outshine Bill Belichick. Not at least yet. So, you know. So we're going to do it like this. Is it rigged? Is it scripted? Is it fixed? I don't know. You tell me. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We are back live on Wednesday when things are back to normal, right? Seahawks. Wow. For something that I called last year and it happened. Wow. I don't know, you guys. You tell me. We back on the next one.